What's up, everyone? This is Matthew. We're the king of bros. I just want to say, if you ain't listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast, bro, you're missing out. The king listens, and you need to too, bro.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast. This is the original The Blue Meanie, and you're watching and listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling.
All right, Chris Jericho here, and we're going to listen to and watch We Are Wrestling.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Mavis. And the facts are, I steal all my information from right here. We Are Wrestling.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me why. 'Cause everywhere I go,
The grind is real.
what should I run away?
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie here with...
What is going on? Dan Eddy here, holding down the fort with the best one, Donnie. Just the two of us today, man. We're just going to be chilling, watching some wrestling. We're not watching, but listening and talking about some wrestling talk content. So we're going to hold down the fort, guys.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a stacked episode because for the first time ever in over 215 episodes, we have to review not one, not two, not three, but 4 premium live events. Because over the weekend, there were 4 PLEs that took place. In this week's episode, we're going to be covering all 4 of them. TNA Slammiversary, NXT Great American Bash, of course, some We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors, of course. Take a little break from the reviews. Then we do have Night of Champions and Forbidden Door. And then we're going to talk about SAMI ZAYN, of course. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to this wherever you get your podcast, leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you're already over on the YouTube channel where you can catch these episodes live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can get live watch-alongs for all the WWE, AEW premium live events, reactions, vlogs, so much content here on the channel, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. We recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos and live streams be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real.
Yes, sir.
We got a bunch of maniacs here in the live chat hanging out with us. Looks like we got one of our co-hosts hanging out in here. Rage!
What's up, Rage?
What's going on, man?
I did clean my room.
Josh
What's up,
Toy
Josh?
Show. What's up, Donnie and Dan Eddy? We got Eric here. Yo, nerds. I hope you're doing good yourself, you fucking nerd. But we're all here hanging out. We got Charlotte in here.
Charlotte!
Hi, drop a like, and you two have a good one. Hell yeah. Take it easy, Charlotte. Glad to see you in here. But it is hot as hell here in New England. Very hot.
It's the same here. Same here in Arkansas. It's like 95 as an average already, and it's only July, dude.
Right now, dude, the high today was 103.
Yeah, August is usually our worst month of the year around here, and we average probably like 98 normally.
Yeah, dude, it's been hot, and it's going to be hot until Sunday. But the good news is, for my shoot job, today was officially my last day until my vacation. So next week on the show, I'm just gonna put it out there. Danny Huggins and Dan Eddy will be taking over, and it's going to be more of like an interactive episode with the Maniacs. I'm really not going to give them a script or anything to do because I'm going to be away out in Maine. So we're going to pretty much, I can't believe I'm going to put my trust in you guys, but I know you're going to help Danny here because if it was Danny by himself, don't think I would allow it.
Yeah, no, I think by himself, the podcast will still go for like 4 hours. So I need to help, maintain some control here because he'll be fantasy booking 15 years from now.
Oh, of course. Alex Johnson. What's up, everybody? I acknowledge Donnie as my tribal chief. Well, Alex, I acknowledge you because Alex Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, went on ProWrestlingTees.com and got himself a We Are Wrestling shirt.
Look at that guy right there.
Plenty of different styles available over there. So if you guys want to go get yourself some We Are Wrestling merch to wear for the summer, it's honestly the best time to do it. The link is down in the description box below. Chevy, what's going on? Tyrus, what is up?
What's up, Tyrus? Yeah, it's really hot out. It's more like a hell in the cell. You might want to look behind your back in case Brock Lesnar's right there.
Oh, yeah, we'll be talking about that in the weekly news and rumors. But we do have 4 reviews that we're going to be getting into, so we might as well start off like we do every week here on the We Are Wrestling podcast with the power of the poll, where you could go over to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, go to our community tab. Every Thursday, we post a brand new power of the poll. And of course, 4th of July is a couple days away, so why not ask you guys a question, and that is, which wrestler has the best entrance pyro? Out of 4 options. And here are the results for our Power of the Poll 4th of July edition. Here it is. Batista winning with 57%, while we got a tie for second place with 16% with Edge and Kane, and only 11% with Goldberg. So, Dan Eddy, this week's Power of the Poll.
I mean,
do you agree with this?
I mean, are we really surprised? I think if you are on Instagram or any sort of wrestling fan, you've seen reels where it's like, the wife would be like, honey, why is the wedding bill so big? And then it cuts to the guy doing the Batista wedding theme coming out for his own wedding. Like, it's just so huge that there's a reason for it. And to be honest, out of these 4 choices, Edge, I'm surprised it didn't get more than 16. Like, it's kind of disrespectful to Edge being tied with Kane. But 50%, 57% for Batista, it only makes sense. Goldberg, I can reimagine or remake Goldberg's entrance just by a few sparklers here tied together, along the doorway, and then boom, there's Goldberg's entrance.
Yeah, but one of the things too about Goldberg's entrance that I think a lot of people don't think about is like he actually was getting burned every time he was going through the pyro.
Well, and also I forgot about when he does the punches and kicks, there's I forgot about that part. But honestly, I saw it coming last week when I saw these 4 choices. I'm like, maybe Kane gets up there, or Edge had a little bit more than 16%. Like, okay, but I figured Goldberg will be last. Kane and Edge will be fighting for second, and then Batista will just be taking out of the park. So I'm not.
Yeah, I knew Batista was going to win with this, and honestly, I agree.
Inside this pit of danger. Sorry, I don't want to get copyrighted. I had to get it out.
Well, I will say, man, Batista definitely, I think, has the best entrant pyro out of these 4. Totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Kane and Edge tying. I do think that is pretty cool because they both do have unique pyro as well. Kane with the fire going through the turnbuckles or the ring post, I think was so cool. Edge just with all the different color pyros, with the music, because I think the music also is another very important thing when it comes to the pyro, and I think that's why Batista's was the best, because the I Walk Alone just worked perfect when he would just do the whole
yeah. I think
Yeah. As a
Question.
kid, I hated pyro though. I
Really?
like couldn't go to shows that had pyro because back in 2005, SmackDown took place. It was the go home show for Armageddon. That was the Hell in the Cell match with Randy Orton Undertaker.
Oh
So
yeah.
the opening match of SmackDown was Nuncio versus the Boogeyman. And
Hmm.
I was over by like where like you get the high fives from people. So like on like the right side, like right by like the entrance. So I was able to get high fives and stuff. But then Boogeyman hits the clock on the head and the
Mhm.
pyro went off. And I was dressed up as John Cena too. So
Of
my
course.
thigh, because
fucking
I was
mark.
wearing the shorts, were freaking purple and blue. Like a big freaking bruise mark from the fire.
Mm.
And then like for probably at least like almost 10 years, like I was afraid of fireworks and I had a lot of anxiety over it.
I can see that. I think pyro now because
Now
of
I'm a lot
4th of
better.
July
Like,
weekends.
I could deal
anxiety
with
can
pyro
kick
and
in.
stuff now that I'm older. My dog has anxiety though, unfortunately.
Yeah, our dog does too. I think too, if we're looking into this a little bit more, Kane's entrance and Edge's entrance, they have different things that like get the pop. You know, like Edge is like, "You think you know me?" That's what people get. That's what
Yeah.
gets people going. But Kane is like one big boom and everything is red, and then he just walks down with the.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the slow
But the
chemical.
turnbuckle,
Oh, that
I don't think Kane always did the fire out of the turnbuckles back then.
he did.
I don't think he did. He
They
do it
kinda
every
stopped-
single time.
during the like HD era. So like when WWE went like PG, when like Ruthless Aggression, Attitude Era was done, I think they kind
Yeah.
of slowed down on doing the pyros like with the shows. And I think one of the
Mhm.
things they cut was Kane doing his little pyro thing, but he would do it periodically, just not always.
And one more thing too, I can understand why Goldberg was last because with his entrance, it's more of a crowd interaction going Goldberg. Well, like he'll be walking for
Yeah.
he walks for miles when he goes into the wrestling ring, you know, because his entrance takes forever.
I do apologize to all the Cody crybabies in advance that Cody was not here.
I was thinking that, but I mean, you picked the choices, so I don't want to say anything. I had some other choices too, but I forgot those. Cody was
picking only 4 because like YouTube limits you. It's so difficult to pick 4. But we do have a wrestling member, Bradley, here in the live chat.
What's up,
Always love the members here on the channel. What's going on, Bradley?
Who are some of the other choices that you didn't put on?
Well, there was Cody Rhodes, obviously. Randy Orton, when he used to have like the same pyro as Goldberg, but it would be like in the background when he would do his pose. That was another guy I was considering.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of great choices that could have been picked, but I think these 4 were solid.
Yeah,
and
they
Batista, nobody's got a better one.
Maniacs got it right.
I think Maniacs did too. But let's see what some of the Maniacs said. Josh here, as a kid, I always popped for the Batista pyro. Edge was always my favorite pyro. Alex Johnson, when I was younger, I always mimicked Batista's entrance. I think we all did.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to cast your vote for next week's Puma Power of the Poll, it does have a little bit to do with this week's episode because there was 4 premium live events / pay-per-views over the weekend. So we're going to ask you, because you'll have an extra week to really watch these shows back.
There we go.
We want to know the best PLE last weekend. And the 4 choices you have are AEW New Japan Forbidden Door, Night of Champions, NXT Great American Bash, or TNA Slammiversary.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. But a couple things we do need to plug before we get into our reviews. Starting things off here, we have the We Are Wrestling is Unreal shirts available now on ProWrestlingTees.com. Get yourself some shirts. It's the summertime. Don't be sitting inside your house. Get the fuck out. Like, you know, the WWF logo, the get the F out. Like, you need to get out and wear a We Are Wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Then we also do have the Wrestling Classic taking place on Saturday, October 24th. So far, Gail Kim and Lillian Garcia are the announcements. I believe there will be an announcement after we're off the air. So if you guys want more information on the Classic and stay up to date with everything that's happening there, go follow at Zombie Hideout and at Captain's Corner over on Facebook. Hey, they can still wear the stuff in the pool rage. Destre, what's up, man? But I do want to address this personally myself. So, Dan Eddy, I'm going to remove you for just 2 minutes.
I was just about to ask you about this, so go ahead.
Alrighty. Let me take this away here. All right. So, if you're not following We Are Wrestling on social media, you can do that where we post on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also clips on TikTok. But We Are Wrestling and Blitzkrieg Pro had mutually decided to part ways as a sponsor. We first want to start this off by saying thank you to Jeremy Leary, who's the promoter of Blitzkrieg Pro, for giving us this incredible opportunity to be a part of something truly special. You took a chance working with us when we had less than 300 subscribers. We'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you to all the referees, cameramen, and crew members for your hard work, because without you, there's no show. Thank you to the entire locker room full of talented professional wrestlers we got to know over the years for welcoming us with open arms every single show, allowing us to vlog your matches, having fun interactions, and building relationships. We'll continue to cheer all you guys on throughout your careers. Most importantly, we really want to thank the Blitzkrieg faithful, the fans who we got to know over the years. There's no better fan base than you guys who bring the energy every single time, from the opening match all the way to the main event. Thank you for cheering We Are Wrestling every time our sponsorship would get announced before a match. Thank you for wearing our t-shirts, and thank you for the amount of love you've given us over the years. We really do hope you continue to support both We Are Wrestling and Blitzkrieg Pro moving forward as we go into different directions. We Are Wrestling has lots of exciting things in the works. Going into the next chapter, we're going to continue to support independent wrestling and create the best pro wrestling content possible. We love you guys. The grind is real. So this is the statement we put out, and we meant every word we said here. And we do wish Blitzkrieg nothing but the absolute best, but we're both going in different directions, and we hope that you still continue to support us and continue to support Blitzkrieg and all the talented independent pro wrestling that's out there, because there's so much talent, and without the talent, there is no promotions. And Blitzkrieg has really given so many talented young guys an opportunity to shine and to really show what they're capable of doing. And a lot of them have earned contracts because of Blitzkrieg, Beyond, Create a Pro, and stuff. But We Are Wrestling, we're going to be moving into a new direction, a new era. So we hope that you guys continue to support us. And we do hope that you continue to support Blitzkrieg, but We Are Wrestling will no longer be working with them. But in other news here, Dan Eddy, welcome back. TNA Slammiversary. Rage and myself went. There is a vlog that will be coming out probably next week, so stay tuned. There's a lot of great content we got for Slammiversary. Good old time. But is there anything else before we get into the reviews?
No, let's do it.
All right, let's freaking do it. And we're going to start things off with TNA Slammiversary. Which,
Whoop, whoop.
Rage and myself, man, we had a great time. And it was Rage's first show. So he had a great time as well. And a lot of good footage we got for that event. So stay tuned for the vlog. But let's get into TNA Slammiversary here. And man, what a show. It started off with a couple pre-show matches. We had a triple threat match, Mariah Shear versus Elena Black versus Indy Hartwell. And Elena Black ended up winning the match. But the big thing that came out of this was the announcement of the brand new TNA Knockouts Television Championship. So they're going to be doing a tournament within the next couple weeks. And there is some independent wrestlers that are on here, which we do want to give a huge shout out to Gabby Forza, who we've worked with quite a few times. She's going to be competing in the tournament against Jody Threat. But the tournament is set to crown the first ever Knockouts TV champion. And here is the official belt design. So what's your thoughts on the women in TNA getting a mid-card title?
First of all, that belt is nice. I like it. I like the purple. We don't see many purple on belts these days.
Yeah,
I like it.
that was my reaction to it.
I like it because, to be quite honest, like if we're being blunt, TNA needed to do something because they are struggling, and the fact that their talent is leaving or being released, They're thinking about combining forces with OVW, I think it is.
Yep, working relationship with them. As a
Yeah, working
developmental.
relationship with that. And so I think they need to do something. And I guess tournaments are the thing nowadays because like we had the Night of Champions tournament not so long ago. The World Cup is going on right now. So I think one other tournament's going. Anyways, I can't think of it. So I think it's really cool. Plus, it's all women's, and they're bringing in independent wrestlers as well. So I think that was the cool part, like you mentioned.
I do like that for
So-
the tournament. There's 4
Yeah,
women.
and then who
independent
knows? Maybe
wrestlers.
they'll get a TNA contract at the end of the tournament if they like what they saw. So it just gives the out of place, not out of place, like you know what I mean, like out of the company people a chance.
It's giving
So
free
I like
agents
it.
an opportunity.
Yeah, it's kind of like AAA call ups, you know.
I
Or whatever league.
and Rage and I were talking about this when they revealed the championship. We both love that, like, all these wrestling promotions are now like giving the women the same opportunities as the men, because now with TNA, they have a Knockouts World Championship.
Yeah,
The men have a world title, tag team championships. They have as well. The men have tag team titles. And now we have a mid-card championship. And the men have mid-card titles in all the bigger promotions. So I love that TNA is finally doing this because I do think that it really does benefit the talent. It gives them something to fight for because you got to spread the talent out. And I think
Yes.
with the television title, this is going to open up the door for some of the women that are in that locker room that are being used on TV right now. And
not
like,
get rid of the talent, but you know,
yeah, but like
embrace
it gives them something creative to do with them.
yeah,
Because with WWE, they have the Women's Intercontinental Championship. AEW has the TBS title, and these have been some solid championships like on their weekly shows. So I think having the Knockouts TV title, this was a great decision, whoever came up with it.
My only concern, and this is for really any industry, like any company, really, if they're going to be doing these titles, especially with the women's titles, they need to do something with it because honestly, I had to look up just now who was the women's IC champion in WWE, and it's Soruka.
Oh, don't
Like,
disrespect
'cause
Sol.
I'm not. I had to think about it for a second because they don't really do anything with those mid card titles. So I think with the TNA mid card title, this beautiful title we're looking at, I think if they just get the tournament and perform it well, and then maybe give whoever the champion is a decent title reign, like I think they did a great job.
Yeah, because that is important. You do make a good point because first impression is everything. So
Yeah.
if they totally like botch it, like yes, they have a great tournament, great matches, but then the winner, you don't do anything with them or give them a solid storyline or program, who's going to be invested in the title? So you do make a valid point. 100%.
Like no disrespect to Soruka, I love Soruka, and like hopefully she has a great title reign. Like I had to look it up. That's the problem with their booking sometimes. So I think hopefully TNA won't do the same thing.
I hope not either. But one thing I do also want to point out as well before we do move forward with the review, I think all the TNA title designs are fire.
They do.
There's not
Yeah,
one
they
bad
do.
championship that they have. Like I generally believe that.
Mhm.
I love the Knockouts TV title. But let's see here what we have. James All Day saying the plate should be gold. But besides that, title
Yeah.
looks nice. Nah, the gold is the world title. The silver is the mid card.
You don't need gold for every single title. Plus, the purple does it.
Agree.
Like it's simple. Purple
and silver, I think, look great together.
Purple is cooking.
Tasha Steele should win it. That's a good mid card woman. WWE needs to get rid of the women tag. I disagree. I think that we need to get more homegrown tag because I do want the women to have the same opportunities as the men. So that's why I don't want to eliminate the titles. I think they just have to stop being lazy. That's literally
Facts.
all it is. Josh, am I wrong?
No, you're
Josh,
not. That
I
was
like
my
that
point.
Josh, I like that they added a Knockouts TV title. I hope it helps the brand. And I think
Yeah,
that's
I
what
hope
me
so
and Dan
too.
can both agree on.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next pre-show thing, we had, dude, this guy is great. All right. This right here is the hometown man. He's just the hometown man. Like, look at him wearing that Larry Bird jersey coming out
they in
during the
Boston?
pre-show panel.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
Just
you guys went
someplace
to
in
it.
Boston.
Duh.
And then the next pre-show match we had was Ricky Sosa, an up-and-coming young star here. Bang, bang, Sosa versus Eric Young. And this was a solid little pre-show match. A TNA original versus an up-and-coming guy
Is
who's
that their
been
like dark match?
creating some tension. Yeah, in a sense, it's like their pre-show to kind of let people get in, get their concessions, get their merch,
Yeah.
relax a little bit before the main show. But we do have some news on Eric Young that did come out this week, and I figured since he did have the pre-show match, we might as well talk about it here because we do have 4 reviews that we have to do this week. So Eric Young, TNA this week has announced the departure of Eric Young. According to False Finish HQ, WWE sources indicate that the company is expected to have interest in bringing Eric Young back after his TNA departure. But according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer addressed this and said this, and I quote, "So he's basically going to be in the same role as Sean Spears, an NXT player coach. That's literally what I was told. I heard September, but that could be wrong. But it was from people in WWE. But yeah, an NXT player coach is the role. That's the current plan for him." So pretty much what Meltzer's trying to say is Eric Young will be an active wrestler on NXT, probably putting over some of the young stars because he's established, but he'll also be a coach at the Performance Center. So what's your thoughts on TNA letting go of a TNA original here who's been with the promotion since, I want to say, 04?
I mean,
but he
that's what I
did
was getting
leave a
to
couple
earlier.
times, though.
Like, if they're going to be doing something, do something with what they have. Like this tournament, they're bringing in independent wrestlers, which is great. And they're kind of creating something within their own. And that's the point too. I guess just maybe personally, I'm just sick of hearing like talent being released because they just can't book them, or they can't do.
Oh, it's always creative for the most part.
Yeah.
At least with the main promotions.
It's either not allegations, contract negotiations. There we go. Hard's a word. And or creative purposes. So with Eric Young, I'm fine with him going to the WWE or maybe NXT. At this point, whoever WWE brings in, I just wish that they have a plan for him. Like with Royce Keys, you saw him in Royal Rumble. He didn't show up on TV for 2 months.
Well, that's because they were having him wrestle main event and dark matches to kind of get him pretty much engaged with the casuals, the people who are buying the tickets going to the shows that might not be familiar with him, so that when they do debut him on TV, at least fans will somewhat know who he is. And that's always been something that they've done in all different promotions through the years. But I can understand it. He was at the Royal Rumble, he was featured in a big spot, and then you kind of just don't do anything with him until he debuts. The video packages could have been a lot better. They didn't have all they did was just show things from his interview with Stephanie McMahon. So I get what you're saying.
So fun fact, you want to know his last opponent when he faced in a WWE ring?
Who?
Ricochet. In a WWE main event.
Or are we talking Eric Young?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I actually really like this move. But I do really like this move because with TNA, he has been kind of lost in the shuffle since Scott DeBoer left. He has been somebody that's been putting over a lot of the young talent that are there. But I do think that Eric Young going to WWE, I think is just the right move. He's a veteran in the business. And I think with NXT right now, because you and I were talking about this probably about a month ago when we got all these main roster call-ups, I think that we need to get some established veterans in there that can put over some of these homegrown Performance Center guys that they're trying to push. So bringing in a guy like Eric Young, who's a vet, knows what he's doing, I think that it's only going to benefit the performers that are trying to get to the main roster, trying to get a push.
Yeah. And I think they're doing that already as well with what's his name? He's now Io Sky's husband.
Oh, Evil.
But there's he had a name before that.
I know his
Hierarchy
name.
Yeah.
I'm not pronouncing it because I will totally botch it.
I probably did, so I apologize if he's watching this. But
Yeah,
but no, yeah, we got the same idea because they need talent now in NXT, and it's just funny how one company is like, "Oh, we're releasing all this talent," and WWE here is like, "No, we're good," but
Yeah,
yet
so
their pool is more empty than
yeah, so he'll be in a similar role as Sean Spears, which I think Sean Spears has done a good job putting over some of the homegrown stars that they do have in their
Mhm.
roster. So I think Eric Young,
Yeah.
this is a solid role for him. As long as he's not running around chasing a 24/7 title, I'm happy. All right.
At this point, I trust Shawn Michaels more than Triple H. So
Well, moving forward, the show started off with the 10 bell salute for a former Impact Wrestling star, Joe Doring, who unfortunately passed away due to brain cancer. So they paid some homage to him. The show was dedicated to him. Cody Deaner, his former tag partner, spoke, said some really nice words about him, and they pretty much dedicated this entire show to Joe and his family.
Oh, yeah.
So nice little way to pay respect to somebody who pretty much sacrificed his body for our entertainment.
it was only 44 too.
But getting into our opening match here, we did have Ultimate X. This is a match that has always been one of my favorite unique matches, like out of any wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
My favorite, like, unique style match. Like a lot of people have, like, Hell in the Cell is one, maybe a steel cage, street fight. Mine has always been Ultimate X. And I got to finally watch an Ultimate X match live in person.
Yeah, it looks like it cooked.
Which, yeah, dude, this match absolutely cooked. A lot of great spots. There's Casey Navarra climbing the cable. So they basically put a championship right in the middle of the X. And then you basically have to climb cables to retrieve the title. And then we got to see the Amazing Red make his TNA return in the ring. Yeah. He wrestled with them when he was like only 18 years old, which is nuts.
Dude, Mexican Destroyers for days. It was crazy.
And this match had all the spots you wanted. So fun. And then the two were fighting over the championship. But the way you win this match, the title has to be on the ground. So Cedric Alexander, while the title was hanging and they're both dangling, trying to fight for the title, Cedric ran, jumped, grabbed the belt from them, and ran up the stage and retained the belt.
Hell yeah.
Ultimate X was great.
Watching that match, and I was just in awe the entire time because it is a unique concept too.
So
you don't
cool,
need the
right?
ladders. You can do a lot of other stuff to enable to grab the title. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, dude, Ultimate X is awesome. And like even like Ben was going into this with low expectations, and he was like really blown away, especially with like the finish.
Yeah,
like,
that's sort of
TNA, that's one of the things I loved about TNA growing up was all these unique pay-per-views and like unique matches. Like they even have a pay-per-view called Lockdown, Dan, where like the whole show, like every match is in a cage.
Nice.
Isn't that unique?
It is unique, yeah.
Oh, come on. That was not a flat finish, Angelo. Come on. That was a great finish. Because let me tell you, being there live in person, when Cedric did that, everybody was booing the shit out of him because he literally didn't climb the cables to get the belt. He just did a heel-like move.
Maybe he just didn't like the outcome of Cedric retaining.
Oh, dude, I love the system. I'm happy with it. But then again, yeah, I guess like there's other options in there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Cedric shouldn't have won. It's boring winner. Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. But moving on, after the match, there was a really cool moment here that none of us were expecting. So Frankie Kazarian ended up staying in the ring, somebody who got to wrestle Amazing Red throughout his career. And Amazing Red will be inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2026. This was a really freaking cool moment. And a lot of people were chanting, "You deserve it." He got claps. He was teared up. TNA totally didn't tell him any of this. And I thought that this was a really awesome announcement.
Yeah, it's definitely well-deserved and probably like should have been done years ago, to be honest.
It should have been years ago. I do agree. Because he was somebody that he's the one that came up with the Code Red, that finisher that everybody uses to this day as like regular moves.
I meant, Code Red.
He's invented a lot of moves.
Mexican Destroyer. I meant
Yeah.
I meant to say Code Red.
But there's Mike Santana up at the
I
top of
think
the
that he well
stage,
deserved.
giving Amazing Red his flowers. Well deserved.
And
Well deserved.
he had the same energy, the same, like the limber. Like he looked like it was still 2005, 2006. It was
Oh, I
unbelievable.
totally agree. And Amazing Red is Zelina Vega's cousin. That's a cool little fact. Well, moving on to the next match, we had two former WWE stars facing each other off. AJ Francis versus Elijah. You know how bad I wanted to say Elias?
Doesn't he still say? So he says, "Who wants to walk with Elijah now?"
He has to say Elijah because WWE has the trademark. Yet TNA's working with them, so I don't get why they just can't let the dude be Elias. But he's got the whole walk with me over. Which I
only know him as Flap or not. Sorry, I didn't try to make the joke. Top Dollar. I only know him as that. I don't know his other name.
Oh, Flop Dollar.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that though because it's been years.
Oh, dude, he's gotten better. He has gotten better. Like, look at that.
I think so too. Like I was watching that match, and I don't think he deserves the name Flop Dollar anymore. It's just one little.
Oh, dude, he's gotten so. Let me tell you this: he's gotten so much better in TNA. One of the reasons I actually watch.
What's his name in TNA now?
AJ Francis.
AJ Francis. Okay, I'll remember that.
But they've had a solid little build up here, and Elijah hits his manager with the guitar. And then we end up getting Elijah getting the victory, which big pop. I thought it was a solid match. Definitely better than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Even Angelo agrees this shouldn't have been good as it was. I do agree with that. They want him to be on his own in TNA, so they don't want him to be just the guy from WWE that came in. I understand that. But I like what they've done with AJ Francis. Like, I really like it. But moving on, we do have the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. We have Demon Buddy, Rosemary, and Allie versus the Elegance brand. This is a match, believe it or not, I did catch some glimpse of because I was taking a little potty break, grabbing myself some more concessions, overspending on chips and candy and stuff.
There you go.
But overall, we did get new champions here. So Demon Buddy ended up winning the titles. The Elegance brand has lost. But there it is. We got the new champions. I'm glad Allie is back in TNA because she was at AEW for a little bit with the Butcher and the Blade. They didn't really do much with Allie. So I'm kind of glad she is back in TNA and holding a championship as well. Moving on, we did get a debut of Apollo Crews in TNA going by Uha Nation, which I do want to know your thoughts on. I want to know your thoughts on Apollo now being signed to TNA.
I mean, it doesn't really move the needle for me. Like I've always liked him. And I think it's better that he's in TNA. Just because I feel like they would be able to book him a lot better than WWE, because in WWE they treated him like either he was in between backroom catering and then maybe once or twice a year, if that, like an IC or a mid-card shot, for years. So I think with this, he's just a guy. He would be a throw into the King of the Ring tournament. It might be this year. They're starting to treat LA Knight like that now. So I think it's good for him. I wonder what's the Uha part? Is that Nigerian?
So I believe so. There was fans that were chanting it. It is very chantable, but Apollo has always just been one of those guys. I respect him as a performer. He's an athlete, but he is just a guy who has a nice smile. That's kind of all I get with him. I really don't like the name. And I posted a short on the We Are Wrestling channel of his debut at TNA and me and Rage's genuine reaction. And there's people that were hating on us for not knowing that this was his indie name before going to WWE. How am I supposed to know that?
It's so crazy. He's only 38, but it feels like he's been in the industry for 40 years.
I do think that this move is good for him. I'm happy that he was able to secure a contract, but I think TNA has got to start finding people that are not former WWE guys that get their 90-day release. Because I do feel like they have way too many WWE people. So this, like, for me, wasn't one of those, like, oh my God. Same with Rage. Like, it wasn't one of those things that, like, really got us excited. We're just like, oh, it's okay. It's Apollo. Cool.
So I looked it up. It says Uha Nation is the primary professional wrestling ring name of Nigerian-American athlete Sasu Isaiah Uha, who is also widely known as Apollo Crews. Okay. So it is Nigerian. That's what I thought.
But I do agree, Angelo. His name
Pretty
is
sweet.
very channable. Eric didn't even know he went to TNA. That's a terrible ring name. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the Apollo Crews. I did. Like,
If the crowd is involved, like, who
Uha
cares?
Crews, that would have been fire. Uha Crews sounds a lot better than Nation. That's the part that's throwing me off. Is not the Uha, it's Nation.
It sounds like it's a faction, but it's only one person.
Like Uha Nation of Domination. Like, what the fuck? Angelo here. That's the good thing about TNA. They don't got much stars, so he will be a bigger star. Depends.
I mean, if all the other stars are missing and you're one of the main card guys, does that say something? You know?
True. And then we also have a new Maniac here hanging out in the live chat. Back when Apollo was called up to WWE main roster, there was a lot of hype for him, but it died out over time. That's how it was for me. That's how it was. Like NXT, I remember the debut. I believe it was TakeOver Brooklyn. And I was just blown away because they did a great video package, like showing off like his athletic skills. And like they really protected the gimmick that he was doing. But then when he went to the main roster, like you can't just be another athletic guy. So that's why, like, for him, it just didn't work out. But there was times where he was just in the right place at the right time. And that's kind of how he got the Intercontinental and United States belt.
So say what you want about this match or Apollo Crews' name, but this was the highest rated match of the entire POE. So
it was, but Alex Johnson, Apollo Nation is so underrated. It's the same thing AEW does with New Japan. That I do agree, but I do think that AEW actually goes out and they get other people because they also go after TNA as well. Josh, if you're wondering where he got the name Ula, it's his real last name. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, getting into the match now. Uha Nation faced Rich Swann versus Mustafa Ali for the AEW International Championship. Solid match all around. And Mustafa Ali ended up retaining the championship, which I do think was the right call.
Hell yeah. Did he get bigger? Like, I saw the match and he looked jacked, dude. Like, Ali, I haven't seen him for a while, but
dude, Ali Ali is one of those guys that like did leave WWE. And like he genuinely got better, like more successful. And like he pretty much like took the NXT gimmick that he was doing over there and like brought it to the indies and TNA. And like he has gotten a lot of exposure and popularity.
I always remember when Brock Lesnar was in the back and he's like, "Know your role, kid." And there's a whole backstory to that. But yeah, I always
he was
remember
supposed
that.
to win that Money in the Bank back in 2019.
Yeah, he was. Until Vince
wrong
changed
place
his mind.
at the wrong time.
Until Vince changed his mind 2 minutes before that. No, get out there, Brock. No, get out there.
But Mustafa, I'm digging the whole new gimmick that he's been doing.
I am
with the
too.
Great Hand and Tasha. I think what he's doing right now is working. This is the right call. I hope he continues to have a long title reign. But we move on to the next match, which I think that this was, besides the Hardys, this got the loudest pop of the night. And that was Moose versus Eddie Edwards, two homegrown Day One TNA guys. And these two went at it in a no surrender match. So this is another unique match that they do where each of them have a manager. Eddie had Alicia as his manager, while Moose had JDC, known as Fandango, who is a part of the system back in the day, as his manager. So they both have a towel, and basically at any point you feel like your guy can't go anymore, you throw in the towel and you surrender.
So you have no control over the match. You just
no pinfalls, no submissions. You keep wrestling until like the person that's with you doesn't feel comfortable. And the last time I think WWE did this was 1994 when Bob Backlund beat Bret Hart at Survivor Series for the WWF Championship. And the only reason he beat him was because Owen threw in the towel, screwing his brother over because he hated Bret. But we did get to see Moose, his wife and son got involved. Massive pop during this.
I yelled at the screen at this part. I don't know if you're going to bring it up later on, but not this part, but the son, but his wife. I was pissed. I was like, ooh.
Oh, he got massive boos. Let me tell you, that whole place booed the shit out of him for it. But at the end, Alicia threw in the towel, surrendered. Moose won, but he speared both of them through a table. Perfect ending. Yep. Absolutely perfect ending. But the family getting involved is crazy. Oh, it is. But dude, it made the story so much more worth it because Eddie Edwards and Moose, they have that relationship. So it's really personal. This match is personal. They have a legit rivalry.
And I think the difference between this is the difference between TNA and WWE because I mean, we can have a whole separate podcast about how safe WWE has been like the last year and a half or whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But TNA has been cooking recently because A, they kind of have to. And B, like these two matches, for example, the No Surrender and then what was the other match?
Ultimate X.
Yeah. And so with that, with the family getting involved, normally with WWE, they're like waving on like this, like the audience, maybe the opposing wrestler would yell at them, you know, but they would never like lay their hands on them, like what what's his name did with Moose's wife.
Yeah, Moose's wife slapping him across the face.
Yeah, and he just grabs her hair and like, dude, I wanted to fight him, dude. Like, it's not even my wife. You know?
That's
like,
old school.
I got involved, dude.
And that's old school. And like, I was talking about this with a buddy of mine who was also at TNA Slammiversary, and like, there's people that were telling him like, because people online were like shitting on this. Oh, like this match is boring, this and that, and it's like, oh, like my buddy made a good point. It's like, all you freaking wrestling fans want the Attitude Era back. You want Ruthless Aggression back. You want the Golden Era back. But in reality, you technically don't. Because guess what? This is what they did. Storytelling. Yeah. Heels were heels. Eddie grabbing her by the hair. Are you kidding me? That right there is nuclear heat. And you don't, and it's like, it's crazy because it's such the little things that people have to do. Like, why do you think Christian Cage got over with the Father of the Year gimmick? Talking about people like he was drawing the line, like going over the line. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, this match was an old school. This was an old school pay-per-view match, and I enjoyed every second of it.
And
enjoyed it.
It's funny because we saw this stuff as we were kids, watching that Attitude Era, watching the Ruthless Aggression Era, but we didn't know what was going on.
But I think
and now that we're adults, like we have relationships or like we know more of the adult things that go on. And like we see these now, they're like, oh my God, like this is how it feels. It's fun to bring this kind of stuff back. And I give TNA kudos. Like I give TNA credit for this whole entire PLE.
The whole pay-per-view was like a nice all-around show. It had everything you wanted. Maybe they should have had one technical match, but besides that, like it had like all around wrestling. And then we move on to the next match here. I will say this was probably the quietest the crowd was, and that was for Knockouts Championship. Lee defending her title against Xia Brookside. And Rage also made a good point to me about this. This is one of your biggest shows. Why are you having Xia Brookside, somebody who hasn't really been seen by more of the casuals? Why are you having her go for your world title when you should probably throw like Indy Hartwell in there or like Elena Black or just somebody that more people are familiar with that are outside the TNA bubble? Because a lot of the fans that went to this show, I'm sure a lot of them do watch TNA, but a majority of them went because they heard wrestling was taking place in Boston. And I think that they should have done a better job, at least.
They have nothing better to do now.
Maybe they should have done something better with like the video package with Xia Brookside. Maybe had her cut a promo at the pre-show as a heel. Mm-hmm. They should have done something because, nobody cared about this match. And it's unfortunate because both women are really good wrestlers.
Well, I'm kind of on both sides, and you pointed it out earlier, Donnie, like saying how they need to get away from the old WWE wrestlers, like throwing them in there and doing these creative stories with them, like get their own wrestlers, grow them, stuff like that. And that's kind of like maybe that's what they've been doing with Xia Brookside.
Oh, they
Like,
have.
so that's why I can understand why she was in that match.
But you see, I know why she's in the match. I'm not saying she's non-deserving of this opportunity or moment.
Right.
Because I have been a big fan of Xia Brookside, but I'm also looking at it like from the fans' perspective in Boston. This is not a small arena that they're taping Impact on. Because a lot of the times with those Impact tapings, those are actual TNA fans that are going to those shows. Slammiversary had a lot of WWE fans in there. So I feel like, especially for Knockouts World Championship on one of the bigger carded matches, you should have given us somebody that you're a little bit more familiar with. I'm not saying she's non-deserving. But like, when you're getting no reaction, it's like, what's the point?
I mean, it was the lowest rating match of the card, so that says something.
But I was happy with the
good for
decision,
her.
though. But I was happy with the decision that Xia Brookside did win the Knockouts Championship, because I do think that this is a fresh start. And hopefully, now that she is a heel and she's the champion, I really hope that she can make this championship relevant again. Because I feel like the last few title reigns with that belt have just been
So
awful.
So that tournament we were talking about earlier is going for that belt now.
Nope.
Knockouts champion?
Vacant TV title, the mid-card.
Oh, my bad.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, let's see here what Angelo said here in the live chat. I just think the fans were tired and this was a cool down match. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, it's their Knockouts world title. Like, it shouldn't be a cool down match. But yeah, she does have a lot of potential, though. So hopefully she could gain some popularity now that she got this exposure. But let's move on to the next match here. We had a Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The Great Hands versus the Righteous versus the Hardys versus the System. And what a freaking match this was. Chaos.
It was great.
Fantastic. There's our boy Bear Bronson getting sandwiched with a barbed wired ladder.
With flowers on it.
Yep, the Righteous. They love their flowers. But there's our buddy Brian Myers, which shout out to him for hooking me and Rage up with the tickets. Thanks to being a part of the Major Pod. Brian taking a back bump on the freaking ladder with the barbed wire.
So
painful.
My favorite spot of this match, well, one of them really was, it was somebody had a dude on their shoulders and they somersaulted into the outside crowd, outside wrestlers, kind of like how they do a suicide bomb or suicide dive.
Yeah, I think that was.
I forgot. It was like I'll have to look at the video again because I forgot who it was, but that was crazy. I looked at it and I was like, I gotta see that again.
Oh, I know what move you're talking about now. Yeah, with the Great Hands. I think the Great Hands.
I think that might have been that
move. But there's Jeff Hardy doing the swanton off the barbed wired ladder onto the Great Hands. Everybody popped for that moment. It's always cool to get a Hardy spot like that. Yep. And of course, the Hardy Boys became the new TNA Tag Team champions. The System have lost their belts. I liked it, but I didn't like it because I know that they did this. They did this because obviously a lot of these fans were here to watch this match in particular. So I think they wanted to make the fans happy with this one. But I don't know. I would have built a new star here. I would have maybe had given it to like the Great Hands, or I would have had the System retain. Brian Myers and Bear Bronson have kind of picked up some momentum.
So the Hardys won them, and they lost to the System, and then they gave it back to the Hardys now.
Yep.
Because what the Hardys didn't the Hardys win it at last year's Slammiversary?
They did. That's why, like, I don't really like this booking decision. The Righteous would have been perfect. I'm a
casual TNA fan, and I remember that. So, like, I don't understand the point. Like, I'd agree. I would throw them on the System. See what they can do.
Like, I would have had the System have a longer run, or I would have given it to the Righteous because they have been feuding with the Hardys, and they could have definitely done something further except have the titles involved again. except this time in the Righteous hands. But I don't know. I feel like the System or the Righteous should have won this. The Hardys, hot take, wrong call, because they literally did the same thing last year in a ladder match.
That's right. It was a ladder match.
And I don't like lazy booking. But after this, me and Rage did leave because it was Sunday night. I did have to get home because I had to get up early for my shoot job.
Yeah.
And I was just wrestling out because it was a very busy, hectic weekend. But before we get into our main event, let's see what Angelo said. The point is the Hardys are the best TNA got right now, the biggest stars of the show. That's literally all they really have.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. That's to keep the viewership up there, maybe.
And I hate to say this, but the main event with Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth, it should have been the Hardys tag match. That should have been the main event because you know how many people left the arena. Like, just look at this picture from a full. Do you see a lot? Look at all those empties if you really look up close. Those were filled.
Yeah.
Those were filled throughout the entire night. But as soon as the Hardys got done, like not only myself and Rage left, but a lot of other people left during this. And this is the same problem that they had at Slammiversary last year, which I did stay for the full show. Same issue that they had at TNA Bound for Glory. Should have been Dudley's and Hardys to finish it. Because a lot of these fans went to this show to see Jeff and Matt perform one final time. The nostalgia.
Last time.
But Nick Nemeth went for the TNA World title against Mike Santana. I did hear this was a great match. I did watch the highlights to it. But before that, Conan, another TNA original, he got a video introduction into the TNA Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Conan. But yeah, this match was a little brutal. Mike Santana had some color here.
I can see that.
And then Ryan Nemeth, Nick's brother, got involved, helping Nick Nemeth win his second TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Is it really his brother? Because they look exactly alike. Just a younger version.
That's his brother, except his brother has short hair. Ziggy's got long hair.
That's crazy.
Let's see what Angelo said. No, it shouldn't have. Dolphin Santana was one of the best matches of the night. Just two guys wrestling. Look, from a maybe watching it at home standpoint, yes. And they must have done a good job if you believe that.
I think he was saying this should have been the main match, the main event.
That's what he's saying, but I'm saying like
yeah.
I understand why he's saying that because watching it at home, you're not there. So you don't know. But after the Hardys, a lot of people left. A lot of freaking people. And I think that, like, you should have had this match before the main event with the Hardys because I think more people, like, they would have had to stay. If you want to watch Jeff and Matt wrestle, you have to stay and you have to watch this one. So, like, I get it, but I also, at the same time, don't get it.
But then you would have been disappointed with the main event instead of the actual match itself.
Hey, it helped me get through Sunday traffic. Maybe get home in time. I was able to get a good night's sleep for work. But I did rewatch this match, and it was fantastic. But congrats to Nick Nemeth on winning the belt. Looks like Mike Santana is going to be WWE bound, which we do have a WWE update here. So, according to PW Insider, TNA sources have confirmed Mike Santana has finished up with the company and will not appear at this week's Impact tapings that are taking place at Albany, New York. His contract is slated to be expired within the next upcoming days. I think Santana is going to be so successful in NXT. I think that he's going to win the NXT belt if that's the direction they go in. But I think if he goes to the main roster, I think the ceiling, unfortunately, and it pains me to say this, it'll probably be maybe a United States or tag title. Just because there's way too much talent in WWE.
It's so top heavy though in WWE that they just can't do anything with it. It's the same feuds, the same stars retaining titles. Like WWE is constantly shooting themselves in the foot because they want to bring in new talent, whether it is NXT or TNA or somewhere, but they always fall into the same well of doing stuff over and over again.
And it scares me.
Like that's what I'm saying. I'm always excited for them to bring in talent, just make sure you have a plan for them. And if it is just like at most a U.S. Title shot, then okay, that was the plan. But the consistency is the issue.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. But I'm excited to see what he'll do in WWE. I am rooting for him because Santana, I gotten to meet him. Very cool, very nice guy. He has totally betted on himself because he was in a very successful tag team with Ortiz back in TNA and even AEW as Proud and Powerful, part of the Inner Circle. But then like they kind of had some issues like behind the scenes, which led to them splitting up as a tag team. And at first I thought both of these guys, this was career suicide. But Mike Santana went out, bet on himself, got in the best shape of his life. Sobriety now. He's been clean for over a couple of years now. And he went to TNA, reinvented himself on the indies, winning the world title, and now getting the opportunity to go to WWE. Like, I'm really happy for Mike Santana with everything he was able to accomplish.
His last match in WWE was the WWE NXT Showdown, the Survivor Series style elimination match.
And he looked good.
Joe Hendry as a special ref too.
He did look really good in that match as well. And they have booked him really well with the whole TNA versus WWE thing. So that's why I'm hoping they put Santana in NXT, because I think they could definitely use the star power. Him and Tony D'Angelo could make a great story. And I think Santana taking the belt off of him would be the right choice. That way, you give Santana the world title, see what you could do with him. That way, WWE knows what they're getting out of him, so that when the time does come when they need to call up somebody, Santana will be ready. They'll have a plan, and hopefully he'll have just as a successful TNA run as he has in the WWE.
So I fully love what Mike Santana does in the ring, and I fully agree with him having a world title shot. My only concern is, especially if you think his ceiling is the the United States title, you've seen what they've done with Ilya Dragunov. Like they had him do open challenges for weeks, and then all of a sudden lost it. They took the title off Carmelo Hayes like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So that's why I'm just concerned with whoever goes into WWE. If they don't have a plan for him, then the talent's just wasted. So I hope Mike Santana can maybe establish himself in NXT again, or perhaps get thrown into the main roster this time around. But I'm just saying, like, if they have a plan, then go through with it.
But I will say overall, TNA Slammiversary was, I thought, a great show from start to finish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I enjoyed myself being there live, getting to watch it. The vlog will be up on the We Are Wrestling channel within the next couple weeks. Slammiversary, I thought, was a lot better than what critics were saying. And I think it's definitely a must watch. And it's got me excited to tune into TNA later on tonight, actually. All right.
I was thinking Wednesday. That's AEW.
Before we get into our NXT Great American Bash review, real quick, I will answer this question. Did y'all talk about Enzo and Cass? So we did talk about it a few weeks back with the rumors of his contract expiring, Big Bill. And it seems like him and Enzo are going to be WWE bond, which I think we're all happy with.
Nothing's really changed since we talked about it. So probably
and I think we kind of knew that it was happening before the bigger sources put it out there. Yeah. But before we get into our NXT Great American Bash review, just want to show off the brand new We Are Wrestling Thunder Championship. Let's take a closer look at it. What a title. Oh, man, what a beauty. Old school Phil and Ricky Knows Best will be competing for this championship in our SummerSlam predictions, which will be taking place in, I believe, 3 weeks.
You could probably get rid of Mike Santana on the bottom here.
Oh, I will, because we are going to move on to NXT Great American
okay.
Bash. So
right, you got a plan.
here we go. Yep. So we're going to be keeping this format the way it is for the
Gotcha.
most part. Because I love showing I love the new features on StreamYard, which if you guys are trying to get into podcasting, which I don't know why we don't advertise this, because we do have a referral link. If you guys are trying to get into streaming, StreamYard is the best place to be. So if you guys use our link, which we'll share right now in
Perhaps
the
they can be a
chat,
sponsor.
you'll get $10 discount.
Hell
So
yeah.
nice little plug right there. But
Plug.
let's start off with this opening contest. So we do have Tony D'Angelo versus Evil. Not going to try to pronounce his new name. But a nice hard-hitting match to start to show off, which I kind of like that they reversed it here. They actually gave the NXT Women's Champion the main event spot. So I kind of like that they put the NXT like men's world title in the opening contest. But there it is, Tony D'Angelo ending up retaining the championship. Nice, solid, hard-hitting match. And it does seem like the feud is going to be continuing because Evil did attack him on NXT. Moving on to the next match for the NXT Women's North American Championship, we have Tatum Paxley versus Zarya, who's defending the title. I actually really enjoyed this match.
I thought it was good too, and I liked the idea of having Zarya retain because I think it was like Tatum Paxley earned her shot, but it feels like Zarya has been there forever. And she was under the shadow of Soruka, who already has a main roster title now. So I think it was time for letting Zarya cook. Plus, her spear, dude, is ridiculous, man. Like, I watch TV and I'm like, ow. You know, like that's how impactful it is, you know?
This match was amazing. Like, Tatum Paxley has grown a lot on me. Zarya, I think she's a great dominant champion. They've done a great job with her after Soul putting her over as she went over to the main roster. This was all having her retain the belt.
Angela's comment too.
Yeah, Nikki Blackheart attacked Tatum on NXT. And I also heard that WWE main roster, there might be a spot pretty soon for Tatum Paxley. So we'll have to stay up to date with that. But I really enjoyed this match. And I thought both women really gave it their best.
I think so too. I know fantasy booking is more Danny Huggins' thing, but can you imagine she gets brought up to the main roster and joins Lyra Vicaria's heel rage?
Ooh, yeah, because like the
Lyra and Paxley,
that'd be a solid little tag team right there.
That would cook, yeah. Anyways,
or have Tatum like be under her wing, do the dirty work. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next match here on the card. We had Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels, which they did have some pretty unique spots in here. They even did like an under the ring, like prank phone call type of thing, which I thought was unique. I thought it was cool. If there's a place to try something like that, it is NXT. And I think like this was a fun little match. Not my favorite of the night, but I love Shiloh Hill. I do think Tristan Angels has a lot of potential. But Shiloh getting the win, I think that was the right call.
So I got to be transparent because I don't know a ton about either Shiloh Hill or Tristan Angels. So I think whoever is beginning to the more attention, the Shiloh Hill does sound familiar because I think he was one of the names that you told me last year when you were listing off wrestlers to watch for in 2026.
WWE LFG
on the list.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was.
I think so. I think it's a great for him.
Yeah, I thought like I haven't been the biggest fan of the storyline that they've done, but I'm glad that they did have a nice little payoff, a solid match. I think both guys do have a bright future in WWE if they're given the right booking. But I just think having two guys that just debuted on NXT, that also didn't help either. But moving on, we did get a WWE Women's Speed Championship match. Ren Sinclair versus Ariana Grace, which I got to say, man, Ariana Grace, I really hope that they give her a massive push, because one thing with this TNA and NXT partnership, they have showcased her and like Channing Stacks so good. And I see like a young Stephanie McMahon potential with like
Ooh.
with the brat gimmick. The bratty
Really?
gimmick. I do. I
Okay.
see a lot of upside with Ariana. And I think that she's somebody that a lot of people need to start paying attention to. I don't think NXT is doing a good job with her, but I think with her little run in TNA, I think they did a great job with her feud with her dad. And I really saw a little bit of that like 1999 Stephanie McMahon in her.
Yeah, I can
Like
see that now. Now that you
an
brought it up.
old fucking take. But there's something about Ariana that I'm invested in.
Her charisma.
But it doesn't matter what my opinion is, because Ren Sinclair ended up retaining her championship. And everybody's happy, I guess. Okay, so I'm not delusional. I'm not delusional then with the Stephanie comparison.
Sometimes the wrestlers that we think need like a big push ultimately get,
I'm hoping she does.
more experience, I guess.
But I just don't. But I feel like in WWE, like when she does get called up, like yes, she's probably gonna get some TV time. Probably do something with like Blake Monroe and Chelsea Green,
Who hasn't
she
even
kind
been
of
on
has that
TV
similar.
yet?
She did. She made her debut.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
But you
She
see,
had
like
that interaction with Chelsea Green. That was her first TV debut, right?
yeah, but you see
Okay.
here, that's the problem with Ariana. Like I just don't want her. Like I want her to actually get a push. I don't want her to be in like a Chelsea Green situation. I want Chelsea to get a freaking push, for crying out loud. But I do kind of like some of the cool like visual effects that they're doing with these speed matches on NXT.
Yeah,
It's not horrible,
I do too.
but I don't know.
think-
Still a part of me, I don't like it.
In due time, my friend. We thought
Yeah.
Javon Evans was going to be main title shot once he got into the main roster, and he has been so far. It's in terms of booking.
In terms of booking, yeah, no,
Yes.
I totally agree. But moving on now to our next match here on the card, we had some Dark State tension here because one of the members of the Dark State got eliminated, Shaquan Sugars, and he went against the leader of Dark State, Dion Lennox. I thought that this was a solid match. I really don't like the new theme for Sugars. Not a fan of it. But I also kind of like Dark State, so I was kind of upset when he got out of the group.
Too AI sounding.
Yeah, it's way too AI sound. Like the music is awful.
Got it.
But I will say, man, Sugars, he's got a bright future, man. Very bright future.
I didn't tune into this show, so I was watching more of the highlights, and I didn't catch his new song, but I'll have to check it out.
It's awful. But then, of course, Dark State attacked him after he got the victory over his former partner here, and they beat him with a bat. So it seems like the rivalry is not ending anytime soon, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, I think if you bring out a bat like that, yeah, it's not over. Like, I'm getting my revenge.
It can't be over because, like, Dark State, like, they all came up together. So, like, you can't just end it off one PLE match. So I hope that maybe, like, Shaquan, like, gets, like, some allies and, like, we get a big, like, 6-man, like, tag match, like, street fight or something.
Do you think
That'd be something
Dark
interesting.
State is like Shawn Michaels' version of the Shield?
I think it's Shawn Michaels' version of the Shield, but I think the fans think it's Shawn Michaels' way of making up for Retribution.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that
Mustafa
would be a better
Ali's group.
comparison. Mm-hmm.
But that would be
Good
cool.
call.
Oh, I kind of like that, Angelo. I hope he takes them out one by one like Cena did with the Nexus.
Yeah.
I agree. More like Nexus. That's also a nice little comparison there.
Yeah.
But they got a little bit more of that darker look, which is why I'm kind of going with like Retribution and maybe I can't. Maybe Retribution is like the ceiling, but the potential was the Shield, but I don't think they're going to get to that because of how bad Retribution was
They're
and how
doing more
inexperienced they were when they
with
debuted.
Darkseid. They're doing more with it, and I honestly, to be completely honest, dude, I couldn't care less with Darkseid when they started like
Fair.
showing up. So like now they're doing like kind of switching it up, and that's what made me think of it, like became a fan, because it did remind me of the Shield when they
having
get
the
this
3 instead of the 4.
like instead of the 3, and now giving a guy his push, and kind of leaving the dark state, or quote unquote Shield. So I'll have to tune in a lot more because they're finally recognizing the talent within the group. And it's kind of like Destiny's Child. Like, we all knew Beyonce was the greatest, like, no disrespect to the other ladies, but we knew Beyonce was the best. So,
but we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I do agree, though, with Josh Toy Show here in the live chat. Sugars is going to be a star.
Yep, definitely.
I agree. And I think that's probably why they disbanded him from Dark State. Well, let's move on to the next match here. We have a singles match for the NXT North American Championship. Miles Bourne defending the title against Tavion Heights, which this match, I'm going to be honest, I really didn't care for. I like Miles Bourne. I just really can't get invested in Tavion Heights.
This was the longest match of the night.
He's just another amateur wrestler. That's it. And like, I've already been there, already done that. It's too generic for me, like his gimmick, his character. I'm just not invested. I don't care. But Miles Bourne winning, right call.
Yeah, I would say so too. I don't really have a say in this match because, like I said, I didn't catch it live, and I sort of watched what happened in the match. And I am a Miles Bourne fan, so I think that was the right call.
I like him. Yeah.
He's very, I use this word a lot, but charismatic. Like he's sort of got the like,
he's got potential,
or like potential. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And he's somebody that the fans can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're both kind of boring right now. Tavion Heights has been boring. Bourne, you just got to give him the right rivalry, I think. And I think Tavion was not the right choice. But then, of course, we go outside, and Hank and Tank come out with the whole pre-show panel with Dave and Tessitore and Kevin Owens. And there's Carter, man. Throws the man off the freaking stage, trying to kill them. Looks like they're still trying to push this man. But then we get into our main event. Oh, my God. This match, amazing. One of the best NXT women matches I have seen.
This match killed me, dude. This match
Kendall Gray versus Lola Vice. They got a star with Kendall Gray.
They do.
I cannot believe how young she is and how well advanced she is as well. Only 25 years old, Dan.
She's 25, yeah. I was already about to say
25
that. Yeah.
and she's this good.
From Las Vegas.
Insane. But I love the Kurt Angle inspired gear. I love that they both got the main event spot. I think that this was the right call. Well deserved. Well deserved and fantastic. Kendall Gray proven why she's one of the best that they have right now in the Performance Center. Lola Vice, she finally getting a main event opportunity. She's been with the NXT brand for a couple of years. I think soon we're going to see her probably get called up to the main roster, which I think will be the right call.
She still has the mixed gender team AAA tag team.
Yep, she's been doing. She's been doing some stuff over there. Yeah.
So
cool.
I don't know if they're going to keep her there, but I definitely want her in the main roster because I don't know if injuries wise or what, but they need more female talent. Like
agree.
Raw and SmackDown, especially SmackDown.
But yeah, man, this was just a banger. And I also love like the Yankee inspired gear that Lola wore too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And Kendall Gray finally getting her moment, winning the NXT Women's World Championship. What a moment.
So this match hurt me because I'm a big Lola Vice fan. I thought she was great, just in AAA to begin with. And then she became a double champion and kind of held that for quite a while. And plus, I think she's Damian Priest's wife, or at least fiance. I thought that was kind of cool too. And I've always been a fan of her wrestling wise too. To see her lose a title just hurts in general, but to see it being put on Kendall Gray was more bittersweet because I do enjoy watching Kendall Gray wrestle too.
Me too. Me too. Alex Johnson here in the live chat. It's crazy how quickly Kendall Gray got so freaking good in the ring, and I'm a huge fan of Kendall Gray.
Exactly, Alex. That's what I was thinking.
Advanced. Insane. Incredible.
Tactical.
Angelo, as somebody who watches NXT, no, Triple H needs to stop taking all Sean's talents. Look, I understand your love for NXT. I understand it. But at the same time, what is NXT supposed to be? He needs a minute.
I mean, it wasn't that funny, but I went down the tricky. But yeah, he's exactly right. I mean,
answer the question. What
was the question?
My question was, what is NXT supposed to be?
Basically, what the Milwaukee Bucks is now, a farmers team.
It's supposed to be a developmental league.
That's it.
It's supposed to be WWE's G League, where talent get their reps in, and they get opportunities to perform on TV. They get some TV experience, and then when the time is right, when the performer is ready, they go up to the main roster. Now, I do think they need a plan. They always have to have a plan. But Lola Vice, I'm sorry, you're holding her back at NXT. She's got to get called up to the main roster. You gotta, the women's mid-card division needs Lola Vice.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying this whole time, too.
Yes, they have turned it into their own brand, but you're not going to be able to develop the future of WWE if you keep these talented guys and girls on a leash. You're not going to be able to reach their full potential performing in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. They're not going to reach their full potential. I understand they have created their own brand, which is amazing, but let's really think about this. NXT has seen the most success when they treat it as a developmental brand. Look at NXT 2.0. Look at the stars we got out of that. You kidding me? Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, just to name a few. Grayson Waller, who they should be doing more with.
Sort of.
But you see here, that's also another thing as well. NXT Black and Gold.
But I forgot.
The reason why Black and Gold was so successful is because not only did they bring people from TNA and Ring of Honor at the time, their contracts expiring, but they also homegrown a lot of their stars in developmental from FCW to NXT. I think that NXT, you have to, it's got to be your developmental. I'm sorry.
It has to be, but at the same time, it always comes down to, of course we know the talent is there whenever they go from NXT to the main roster, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. The talent's not the issue. The issue is the creative booking. Yeah, and that's why I get hesitant wherever the wrestler comes from, whether it's NXT, independent, AEW, whatever. As long as there is a plan. Doesn't have to be a long plan.
No, it needs to be a long
plan. There is a plan. Well, ideally, yeah. I mean, it has to be a long plan because they sign a contract for multiple years. But at the same time, I'm just saying, if they bring them in and then it's not organic, like Blake Monroe, for example, if they didn't do the 100 vignettes that she did before they actually showed her on TV, and then she just came up and started interacting with Rhea Ripley. The same thing with Ricky Saints happened. They just threw him in the deep water and oh hey Cody Rhodes, can I play quarterback this weekend? That's just an example. So with Lola Vice or Kendra Gray, whatever she gets called to the main roster, there has to be a plan.
Oh, I 100% agree with Lola Vice because I do think Kendall Gray, definitely you should keep her at NXT for a couple of years, especially if she only does have a couple of years of wrestling experience. I'd keep her there, even though she is talented enough to go on the main roster. She's still young. Mm-hmm. She still has a lot of years left in the business. Lola Vice, she's also young too, but she's already been in developmental for long enough that we need to come up with a plan already for the main
Yeah,
roster.
and Lola Vice is only 27 too. So, and while you were talking, Donnie, I was sitting here like thinking, whenever they do bring up Lola Vice to the main roster, like what do they have to do first?
Yeah, and speaking of pay-per-views, AEW and NXT, it looks like they're going to be running back-to-back shows on August 30th, the same day as AEW All In.
What's NXT doing?
I believe it'll be NXT Heatwave.
Oh, that makes sense.
And AAA will be doing a show as well on the same day.
Honestly, I'm gonna watch AAA, not NXT, because they've been
I'm
saying
watching neither because it's AEW All In. This is petty.
but I'm not getting rid of the pettiness out of it, Donnie. In terms of just the entertainment, the PLEs themselves, who do you think is carrying wrestling in 2026?
So when it comes to pay-per-views, AEW, no debate. No debate there. When it comes to PLE,
Okay.
I do
AAA
think
itself has been cooking.
okay, the AAA shows have been cooking, and the
Yeah.
pay-per-views have also, or the PLEs have been pretty solid as well. That match versus match, I do believe, is still match of the year
Oh yeah.
so far.
Oh yeah.
I will
definitely.
firmly believe that, but I do think when it comes to overall premium live events / pay-per-views, nobody is doing it like AEW. Like that's the one thing I got to give Tony Khan.
And I agree with you in that part. I just feel like it's a little closer than you might think, because but you've been
And I can
watching for
understand.
AEW for years. So
Yeah, but I could also understand like that perspective as well, it being closer because AAA has picked up a lot of momentum. Undertaker has done a fantastic job with creative.
And
So
we were
like
saying earlier with NXT,
we do make some
it's like
compelling cases.
they're kind of back to the ground zero,
But I will say this. I think that it is stupid on WWE's behalf to have NXT and AAA go against AEW All In. This is their WrestleMania. They're going to be at Wembley Stadium. Basically, the way it's looking right now, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the championship. You are putting these young guys, you're setting them up for failure because you're having them go against a headliner of Kenny, my God, Omega, and Will Ospreay, and probably MJF versus Hangman Adam Page, Mercedes Moné versus Tekla. Like, I don't know, dude. I think that this is a huge mistake for WWE to do this, and I don't know why they continue to. Because guess what? I'm a fan of both I love NXT, but I also love AEW. I love all these promotions.
I think it's petty
what?
as fuck too.
But you see, guess what? Now I can't watch both shows live at the same time. I can't. So with AEW, like, I'm going to pick All In because AEW has proven time after time I get my $50 worth.
Yeah.
But
understandable. Like, I don't disagree with it at all because I feel like you would choose AEW over all of them as well, even if they we're on different dates.
I've always been the outsider, man. But if Tony Khan, and I would do this, if Tony Khan was doing this to Triple H and WWE, I would be watching the WWE show over them.
Yeah, you gotta look at it both ways.
Because I'm sorry, AEW All In, they've had this show penciled in. They've had tickets on sale. They've had this announced for a very long time. And WWE just announced this show. And they're putting two shows on at the same day in case AEW decides, okay, maybe we should do the show in the afternoon so that we're not going head-to-head with WWE. But now they have no choice but to go head-to-head with them because you're going to have a show in the afternoon, you're going to have a show at night. I don't like this. Do not like this decision. You weren't going to watch NXT live anyways, laugh my ass off.
Hey, I still watch NXT if he's talking.
No.
About me.
I watch the weekly shows. I've been watching NXT. I've been invested in this new era of NXT. With these new like developmental guys getting opportunities because of all the main roster call-ups. I've been invested in what they're doing, but doing this is not giving me a reason to tune in. I don't like the pettiness. Even when Black and Gold NXT moved from Tuesdays to Wednesdays to purposely compete with AEW Dynamite okay, the first week that was kind of fun because it felt like the Monday Night Wars, but like it killed NXT doing that. Like, imagine they just didn't change the date. Like, maybe we still would be having black and gold NXT. And then maybe Johnny Wrestling wouldn't be freaking backstage, freaking sleeping all the time.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that. Just throw him in AEW at this point. Like, what are we doing here? Actually, no, throw him in TNA. That would benefit both him and the industry.
TNA does need some star power. So, yeah, TNA, I think, would be the right call. But then again, Ciampa is at AEW, so I kind of would like to see what they could do as a team and a rivalry in AEW.
Exactly.
But we're going to take a little break from the reviews here. We are going to be going a little bit over time because we still have 2 more pay-per-views to review. But we're going to get into one topic for this week's We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the latest headliners, the rumors, the contracts, the controversy, who's pissed off this week, good booking, bad booking. It's time for the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors.
You fucking mark!
It's It's
it
time.
gets me every time. You fucking mark.
It's time for the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors.
Oh, shit.
Gotta love MJF, man. What a go. What a We Are Wrestling maniac he is. All right. Well, our only news topic for this week does involve what took place on Monday Night Raw, which you can technically consider as also a weekly TV recap in a sense.
There you go.
SummerSlam is here. Brock Lesnar challenged Obafemi to a Hell in the Cell match at SummerSlam. Obafemi is foregoing his SummerSlam title shot to face Brock Lesnar inside Hell in the Cell. And he said, the title is always going to be there. The championships are not going anywhere. I'll take that when I want it. So now it's official at SummerSlam. It will be Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar inside the Hell in the Cell. And then on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins at the end of the show challenged Roman Reigns for his championship at SummerSlam. So let's talk about the Brock Lesnar and Obafemi first, and then we'll get into Seth and Roman. What's your thoughts on Hell in the Cell? Because one thing I do want to point out before you share your thoughts, this was something I believe myself, I don't remember if it was you or Rage. I know it wasn't Danny for sure. But I remember pitching the idea of putting Oba and Brock, that third match, inside a steel cage. And then I think it was either you or Rage that said it should be Hell in the Cell. And I can't believe it's actually happening.
I think that was Rage.
I believe it was Rage.
In case it was Rage. Yeah, Danny Huckins, he's an idiot. He wouldn't have thought that.
He could never.
No.
It was Rage. Yep, Angelo
was
confirmed.
Rage. I think that was when it was you and him.
It was an episode with me and him. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I agree. But at the same time, like, when I was watching that, I was like, what are we doing here? Because Obafemi just had to go through that whole entire tournament, win the King of the Ring, which was pretty much mandatory because they gave him something to do while we wait for him to face Roman. And then he just kind of be like, yeah, title shot. Yeah, title's going to be there, whatever. Bring out Brock. Because he's been kind of throwing in little Easter eggs the entire tournament, bringing up Brock's name, talking about how he was able to beat Brock at WrestleMania, how he was doing this and that, and basically throwing Brock Lesnar's name in the dirt. We didn't get a interference with Obafemi throughout the entire tournament, or with Brock Lesnar, I should say, throughout the entire tournament, even the finals, which was, in my personal opinion, shouldn't happen anyways, because to be king and queen of the ring, you should have a clean victor, whatever it's pinfall or submission. So that was great. But with the capital B, but what are we doing here? Because at the same time, the winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam. It's not a Money in the Bank contract where you can cash in anywhere from, I think it's in October now, whatever, from now until like next year. So are
1
we
year.
getting a double main event with Obafemi? I don't know, because this is something to discuss and like kind of figure out what's going to happen, because I wanted to see Obafemi at SummerSlam with either Roman Reigns or, well, now Sami Zayn, but or either with Cody Rhodes or Gunther.
I'll tell you this right now. What happened?
What happened?
I don't even have to watch WWE Unreal season probably 5 by the time we get to see the backstage stuff with this. Here's what I think happened. WWE wanted Jey Uso to win so that they can further the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns storyline.
Yeah.
That's probably what they wanted to do, but they saw all the backlash from the IWC and they realized that Jey Uso is not that guy. And it would not be believable if he defeated Obafemi in that match at Night of Champions. So they decided that we can't piss the fans off with our opening match. So we need to give it to Obafemi and let's figure out what we're going to do. And I think that the plan was for Brock Lesnar to interfere at Night of Champions. I think they canceled his flight to Saudi to cost him. And I think that the direction was going to be Jey versus Roman or Jey versus Cody. But I firmly believe that they did this intentionally because they saw all the backlash from us fans and they know that Brock and Oba, like, it would be good if Brock interfered and did it, but at the same time, Jey winning, the fans don't want Jey in the main event picture. They just don't want it. So I think they completely panicked here and they said, all right, Oba's going to win. We'll figure out the title stuff at a later date, which I agree with everything you just said. I like that he won the King of the Ring and he's not getting his title match.
So 2 things. One, that backlash with Jey Uso has been long since the tournament began. So if they were paying any attention and was like, yeah, Obafemi needs to win this. Like, if this was always the intention, why even have Obafemi in the tournament to begin with? If this was always going to be the outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Number two,
it's like Seth Rollins should have just been in the tournament.
Exactly. And first of all, I called it when Seth Rollins was, after this match, was going back into the main title seat.
You did call that.
So kudos to me. Anyways, what would make this match a lot better and keep the tournament part of him winning it actually relative still would have been the stipulation of not only the Hell in the Cell, but the winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam.
See, that's better.
So whoever wins actually gets a title shot at SummerSlam, whether it's night 1 or night 2.
But you see, like, you're right though about the Money in the Bank briefcase. This is not a fucking Money in the Bank. It's King of the Ring, and usually 9 out of 10 times, it's always been the ritual. If you win the King of the Ring, you go for the championship at SummerSlam. It's always been the old school thing. This is not a Money in the Bank briefcase where you can just call your shot. That's why I don't like this decision. Just like Liv Morgan being in the freaking tournament as champion. Because guess what? We're getting Io and Liv part 2. Again.
And another thing. So we've been saying this the entire time, and if in case anyone listening or watching is not up to date or clear, the winner of the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament gets a title shot at SummerSlam. Like, those are the rules or prizes. Question. There's one event before SummerSlam, which is Saturday night's main event on July 18th.
Yep.
And we'll talk about it more with the main event with Sami Zayn having the title. But a thing that would fix this is, I know, unfortunately, Donnie, you like Donnie or Sami Zayn having the title. If Brock Lesnar goes up to Sami Zayn and asks for a title shot, wins at Saturday night's main event, and then takes it to SummerSlam to face Obafemi, Obafemi would have a title shot for the undisputed WWE Championship and potentially win the title and retire Brock Lesnar if he's still retired.
I get what you're saying.
So there could be a title shot at SummerSlam still, and Obafemi could take that off of Brock and then go up and face Roman because he has the world's heavyweight championship.
I
But-
see what you're saying. So you're pitching the idea that Brock Lesnar goes into Saturday night main event at Madison Square Garden against Sami Zayn for the title. Sami completely transitions. Brock beats him for the belt. That way, Hell in the Cell has a bigger stipulation in there with the Undisputed Championship on the line.
And it's a Hell in the Cell tournament too, and a title shot on the line. And also, if you look back at it, this whole Sami Zayn, I know I'm bringing it up because I'm trying to save it for the main event, but
Yeah.
I'll just say that him winning the title that Saturday gave so much energy compared to Kofi Mania. And what happened with Kofi Mania? He lost it in like 8 or 9 seconds to Brock Lesnar.
But I do think realistically, though, it's probably not going to happen, though. Like, I don't think they're
I
gonna
don't
do
think it's happening either.
Old Vince
Like Angelo
style
was saying.
booking where Saturday night main event, he like completely squashes. I think they have a better plan with Sami with the belt, which will probably
too.
involve Cody Rhodes most likely because they've been telling a story over there for a while. But
I'm
I
just
don't
pitching
know.
it.
I just,
I'm just pitching it to-
it's a great pitch idea. It is a pitched idea.
Just to
But I
keep
think
the
WWE
rules
doesn't even
sacred.
really know what to do here. But I just don't
No,
like
either.
I just don't get it. Like, if you wanted Seth Rollins to go against Roman, why wasn't Seth in the why didn't he win the tournament? Why was Oba in there to begin with if this was the plan all along? Because guess what? Oba Femi's been feuding with Brock. You could have had Oba go against maybe Austin Theory. You could have had Oba go against Braun Breaker during this PLE. You could have switched the roles with Seth Rollins and Oba.
I think that idea.
They really don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't. And I was just bringing that up because I like to keep things sacred and traditional sometimes in wrestling because I like original ideas. Like when we were talking about the TNA Slammiversary, like I like those kind of matches. But if we're going to keep things traditional, like just keep it the same, man. Like maybe add a little flair to it. Maybe like some color or some new weapons or whatever. But at the same time, like, dude, the whole entire point of the tournament was to get a title match at SummerSlam. WWE's biggest party event of the summer. They've claimed that for years now. So, yeah, the card is going to look nice with a lot of great name value. Like, Donnie, me and you play fantasy NBA fantasy. Like, I'm going to send you a trade offer of like these two players and then a whole bunch of garbage. Like, all these players have a lot of great name value.
like what the Celtics did to Philadelphia with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever's a Celtics fan that's here,
I set you up there.
You
But
can eat
you know what I mean. Like, oh my god, that's gonna look great. But at the same time, like it all comes down to booking, like what they're gonna do about it. So
yeah, I really don't know, but I say we talk about because I am excited for the Hell in the Cell. Like I do think like it needed to have a stipulation for the Oba Brock 3, and I think Hell in the Cell is definitely the right call.
It did need
there better be some color. I want to see some color. But let's talk about real quick, and then we'll get into our pay-per-view reviews because we do got to kind of fly through this.
Yeah.
Roman and Seth being a headliner for SummerSlam. What's your thoughts on this?
That promo was probably the best promo I've watched in the last month because Seth Rollins, this new gimmick, he is more serious. He's not dancing around when he comes out to his theme. He was spitting facts. And I got to be honest, like, I kind of felt that too because he was talking about this new generation. You know, we kicked out the old generation and now this new generation is doing the same thing to us. Like, I was like, yeah, I mean, in a way, because I watched you guys growing up. So, but he was saying, like, I've always been a gnat and a mosquito, like a fly in your head. Like, I've always been able to beat you. I've always been able to manipulate you. I'm the one who broke up the Shield. I have been this. And he brought up receipts. He was the MVP of WrestleMania 40. He brought up WrestleMania. What was WrestleMania 42 or 41?
So WrestleMania 40, Seth Rollins was in the main event teaming with Cody Rhodes to go against The Rock and Roman Reigns in night 1. Night 2, he lost his World Heavyweight Championship to Drew McIntyre. And then I want to say WrestleMania 41. What did Seth Rollins do during during
I don't know.
Formula
I
One. Oh
did
yeah,
watch
so it was it was CM Punk's first main event match. So he was in a triple threat with Roman and
That's right.
Punk.
And then he stole Paul Heyman.
Yep, he stole
Yeah.
Paul Heyman from him, got
What
the
I
big
thought.
win in the main event of Mania.
Yeah.
And then, and then
So
42, he had a random match with Gunter. That cooked.
I'm just saying, like, he was being real with Roman Reigns and getting inside his head, which worked because he agreed to it. And like I think that was the right call. My only concern with this is the way that match ended with Braun Breaker, and I'll get to it when we get to the review. But Seth Rollins back in the main title picture is a great idea.
I do like this because of the history that both Roman and Seth have. So I know tuning into Monday Night Raw, well, at least their stuff.
I swear, if they bring in some celebrity with this long,
no, I think they learned their lesson.
History
They
feud,
never
I'm
learned
gonna
their
be
fucking lesson.
seriously
What the fuck am I
pissed.
saying? What the fuck am I saying? They never learned their fucking lesson. Holy
They're
shit.
they're gonna bring in Jelly Roll.
That was so stupid of me to say. But
You
I do.
blew it.
But you see here, that's the thing. Like Seth Rollins and Roman, like they already have the story. Let's
do.
cook the next couple weeks and really build this match.
He brought up the chair too. Put the
Yep, because
chair
of
in
the
his
chair
back.
shot. Yep.
And I was like, ooh, okay.
All right. Well,
Bars.
let's move on now to AEW Forbidden Door review. We're going to try to fly through the Forbidden Door, and then we'll get into Night of Champions and SAMI ZAYN. Of course, can't believe it, man. We have 4 PLEs that we're reviewing in one night. So here we go. And we're not even going to talk about the pre-show matches that Forbidden Door had. There's so much wrestling, I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
So we do have here a 6-man tag match to open off the show, or 3-way tag with Unbound CO versus Young Bucks versus Sky Team, Dorado and Mystico. And this was just one of those fun high spot opening matches, which of course Young Bucks ended up winning the match because it looks like they're trying to get back into the AEW World Tag Team title picture. Then we get into the next match here, Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr., one of the best technical wrestlers. Kenny Omega wanted to test his abilities because he wants that AEW World Championship. And this was just a heavy-hitting match. Zack and Kenny just giving it to each other. Real shots. So much technical wrestling involved here. Kenny really turning back the clock, it felt like. It felt like watching a New Japan match here with these two. One-winged angel. Kenny Omega gets the job done. Big victory for him. And this will lead into our AEW Dynamite TV recap here real quick. Because on AEW Dynamite, MJF told Kenny Omega he'll wrestle him next week at Beach Bash under one condition. If Kenny loses, he can never challenge for the AEW World Championship again, like Cody Rhodes, like Hangman Adam Page. What's your thoughts on Kenny versus MJF happening next week on Dynamite?
So
Pay-per-view quality match.
Remind me, the Kenny Omega was the guy that was wearing like the England jersey, like saying
Nope, that's Ospreay with the England
that is
jersey.
Ospreay. I was thinking, well, Ospreay. So,
Kenny is on the right.
the right, yeah. I was picturing him with the jersey on. I think what Kenny Omega is doing is pretty much what I picture him with MJF, because MJF brings the best out of everybody, and that's probably why he's one of the best in the world in terms of the wrestling and the promos. So I think the stipulation that if he loses, he can't get another title shot makes it a great match to watch,
especially on TV for free.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a great move for AEW. I know that they have their pay-per-view coming up, Redemption, but I don't think that having Kenny win the championship against MJF at
July
the next
26th.
pay-per-view on July 26th, I don't think
It's a Sunday.
that's enough time for Kenny Omega to be champion, because we all know the plan's going to be Kenny versus Ospreay. That just has money written all over it. Main event, Wembley Stadium, AEW All In. that's what we're building towards. And I think MJF is going to probably drop the title to Kenny Omega with the help of Hangman Adam Page. I do think Hangman, we haven't seen him since Revolution when he lost to MJF. And I think Hangman's going to cost him the championship. That way, going into AEW All In, MJF and Hangman will have like a death match or something.
So, real quick, Kenny Omega is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Yep.
AEW Redemption is going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah.
So, just putting that out
Kenny
there.
go in there as champion. That could happen. Which also another cool fact about MJF versus Kenny Omega. They've wrestled 2 times. MJF has beaten him both times.
Mm-hmm.
So with Kenny Omega, this is all or nothing. And I feel like Kenny Omega is going to get that moment. That way MJF can finish his storyline with Hangman, or they could go the Andrade route if they really want to. But I think Kenny Omega getting the title, this is the right call. It's got to happen next week because you got to give it at least a little bit more time than July 26th to pretty much the last week of August. You have to give it more time.
If they do the Andrade route, wouldn't MJF have to have the title?
That is also another thing you're right about there too.
So we'll see.
And I like the unpredictability of this world title. I love the chaos that they do with it. But Eric here in the live chat, it's good because being a free match, I will actually watch it. And I think that that's good because these two are a draw. So you are giving us a reason to tune into Dynamite next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
So I think that this is the right call. But let's move on with the review. Let's get into the next match for the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley defending the title against Bandito. And man, Bandito, every time they put this guy on a pay-per-view in a one-on-one match,
Jesus.
Absolutely cooks, absolutely delivers. And this was definitely a match that was just, it was a great match. And of course, Jon Moxley does retain his championship. He's been kind of going in like a babyface route in a sense, but still having a little bit of the attitude because he has been showing respect to his opponents after the matches, shaking Bandito's hand. Great competitive match.
Absolutely. And then we talked about it before about him basically saying what's his name was unstoppable or
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, unbreakable, unstoppable.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's been kind of showing more respect towards his opponents too, and
he has
making amends with a lot of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really do I did like this match a lot with Moxley and Bandito. Another great match. But we get into the next match here on the card. Here we go. It's some Forbidden Door stuff. We have Shota, I think I said his name wrong, versus Pac from the Death Riders, which this match was solid. Pac proving why, like, he's still an underrated performer. Finally getting a pay-per-view opportunity here against one of the top guys over there in Shota, which I do need to talk to Ricky Knows Best a little bit about him, kind of pick his brain a little bit because he knows about all of them.
He's more into the Japan scene too, I noticed.
Yeah. But we did get a victory here from Shota. So that's good. At least,
yeah.
Hey, at least it's not all AEW people winning these matches, so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Angelo here in the live chat. Of course, John doesn't know if he's face or heel, not tearing his mask in the match, just to shake his hand. But you see, I like that mix reaction because then it makes the whole Will Ospreay thing going for the championship more unpredictable because Jon Moxley, we don't know if he's really going to help him win the title or if he's going to turn on Ospreay. So being like a tweeter right now does make the whole Will Ospreay thing a lot more interesting to watch.
Yep.
I think. Well, we get into the next match here for the AEW Women's World Championship. We had Tekla defending her championship against Starlight Kid. And this was just another great Women's World Championship match. Tekla, they're putting a lot of stock in her. She's looking great in all of her matches. And it seems like going into All In, that's going to be the direction. Tekla versus Mercedes, which we'll get into the Mercedes match in just a moment. But Tekla wins, takes the mask, getting massive heat. I thought this was another solid match there on the card.
I've been a fan of her ever since I watched her promo talking about how what was her promo about? Remember when I told you she had like a lot of early days Becky Lynch vibes?
I don't
Um,
remember that, but I'll pretend I did.
Yeah, so I think I was telling you the next day when I was watching it, like she had a lot of like Becky Lynch mannerisms with that promo. So I've been a fan of her ever since, and I feel like she is a mixture, like AEW's version of the mixture of JC Jane and Becky Lynch put together.
Okay, I can see that a little bit, but I'm gonna go a little old school. Like I see a lot of Victoria in her.
Yeah, I could see that too. Good call. But I enjoyed this match too, and I'm excited for Tekla and to see what they're gonna do with her. So I was glad that she won too.
Me too, and I'm kind of curious who's gonna go, like, is Mercedes gonna go in as like a babyface with this match, or I don't know, because they do have some time here, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on, we do have the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Dogs, Clark Cotters and David Finlay versus Cage and Cope for the titles, which we did see Adam Copeland and Christian get the win here. Adam Copeland and Christian looking good, and it's so cool on the same weekend. Like the Hardys win the belts, so that like the Hardys and Christian are holding the titles all at the same time.
Makes you feel good a little inside.
But the shock value here, Jay White, Switchblade, made his AEW return after being sidelined for almost a year, or more than a year, I think, at this point. But pretty much after the show, at the media scrum, after the show, Tony Khan addressed Jay White's AEW return, says Jay only got cleared this week. He said Jay White actually just officially got cleared this week. This was something we were hoping for. He was going to get cleared, and he's just been physically cleared, and it's a huge excitement. So this was something we were hoping and aiming towards and working for, and it came out great and worked out perfectly. And it seems like Jay White has his eyes set on David Finlay, who he does have a lot of unfinished business with. And I only know this information thanks to my buddy Ricky Knows Best. So both of these guys were Bullet Club leaders at one point, and when Jay White left New Japan Pro Wrestling for AEW, the Bullet Club turned on him. And the leader of Bullet Club that turned on him, it was David Finlay who attacked him.
Interesting.
So Jay White pretty much cost them the tag title. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here.
He's coming back for revenge now, huh?
Yeah, and pretty much the Bang Bang Gang Bullet Club Gold. They got all the members back, so I'm excited to see where this is gonna go.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we get into this match here, the Owen Hart Cup Finals. Mercedes Moné versus Maya World, who's been getting a lot of buzz, a lot of attention. And she put on a fantastic match with Mercedes. She's got a bright future in the business.
Damn.
And I thought that they put on a solid match, but Mercedes Moné ends up winning. Still made Maya World look great, but it looks like going into All In, Mercedes will be going for the AEW Women's World Championship, and it's probably going to be against Tekla. So can't wait to see what they're going to do there.
I wish they would just throw Athena in there too. That'd be
that would be great. Yeah.
I was looking at that. This match was 24 minutes, almost 25. That's crazy. It wasn't the longest.
Actually got a lot of time.
Yeah, ridiculous. It was a great match. I'm glad Mercedes Moné won, because now you kind of have the veteran and then the newer comer of Maya World. So you want to see Maya World
her on a bigger stage.
Exactly.
Because it was a good way to give her some exposure. So, like, we all know what AEW is doing there. And I think it was smart having her pull the upsets and stuff. That way you're making the Owen Hart Cup not predictable either. But
as soon as Moné made a return, you knew what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, we knew she was going to win. Two-time Owen Hart Cup winner. But will she actually win the championship this time? I think she will, but only time will tell. Let's move on to the next match here, which was a steel cage match. Oh, this was great. We had the collaboration, Darby Allin and Takeshita versus MJF and the Don Callis family. And I do want to talk about this structure because it got a lot of attention, a lot of buzz over the weekend.
I like it.
New circular steel cage What's your thoughts on this cage?
It's different. I like it because, like I said, probably earlier in the podcast, like people are like not edging, but like asking for like something different. Like they're craving it. Like just something simple like this, a circular cage, like pulls my eyes and like let's see where this is going. And then the fact that they have the talent inside there, with Darby Allin and MJF and all those other guys, like it's different. Like I'm intrigued by little things like rule number 32. Enjoy little things. I was just watching Zombieland yesterday, so still fresh in my mind. But part of that is like, okay, let's see where this goes. Like, okay, well, let's see where the I keep forgetting the TNA match with the X.
Oh, Ultimate X.
Ultimate X, yes, thank you. I keep forgetting that, but like, just let's see what this Ultimate X is up to. I like it. I don't understand the fact.
I love unique shit.
The backlash of it. Backlash.
I do love the uniqueness of it. There's Leo Rush inside the bag.
Yeah.
Try to steal MJF's diamond ring. But I just love the structure. I love the visuals. I just love unique stuff. And AEW really has such cool, unique, like stipulation style matches. And I think adding like a circle cage, you really do create more opportunities to come up with more creative stuff. And I think that they did a really good job here with it. And I just really feel like they got something here. Because like,
go ahead.
One of my favorite cages of all time is the old school blue cage, the squared one.
Yeah.
I used to love the old style cage. So I kind of like when we like get new structures and stuff like through the years. And I think getting like a circular cage like this for AEW, it's unique.
Fresh sight for sore eyes. Yeah. Honestly, can you go back to that circular cage again? I was thinking like, I kind of like this more than not only the regular steel cage, but maybe even the War Games cage.
I was going to say, I think so
maybe
too.
Maybe not the Elimination Chamber one, because that one's pretty.
Yeah, the chamber's
detailed.
Yeah,
the chamber is better than this one or the other ones, but this one's up there with me. That might be a hot take or whatever, but I like it.
I really do like it too, and I can't wait to see what they do moving forward with this cage because it did get a lot of positive feedback throughout.
They better trademark the shit out of it.
I think they already have a name for the trademark. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. I should have wrote it in my notes, but they do have a plan with it. Good. But Darby Allin, shocking Kevin Knight. He has his eyes set on the TNT Championship. And then the big thing that happened during this match was Andrade finally fed up with MJF, finally fed up with the Don Callis family, and turning on him during a key moment in the match. So it looks like Andrade has his eyes set on MJF's World Championship. And he even had a shirt that said, fuck Don and fuck MJF. So it looks like Andrade is going to be a babyface now moving forward, which I think is the right call. Me and Rage, I think, talked about it a few weeks back, putting him over with his whole like real Latino gimmick. Yeah. He's gotten just over with the fans. Like it makes sense to make him a babyface.
I mean, they have him as Andrade de Idolo, which is the idol in Spanish or in English. Andrade the idol.
Idolo.
And yeah, you know what they're doing here, Donnie? With MJF?
What do you think they're doing?
They're making him as the new Cody Rhodes because they're having him feud with this guy and this guy and that guy. And it's back to what Cody Rhodes was saying is, I'm easy to find, hard to beat.
That is true. But the difference between the WWE SmackDown and the AEW booking when it comes to their world championships is AEW is making the world title unpredictable. Having Darby randomly win the championship on Dynamite, Kenny Omega possibly beating MJF for the title next week. There's a lot of factors that go into it. And it's like every pay-per-view, like they have you on your tippy toes because you really don't know what they're going to do because they're not afraid to give somebody the championship when you least expect it. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when Swerve beat Samoa Joe for the title, I couldn't believe it because it was so unpredictable at that time. Like I thought because Samoa Joe just won the belt.
That's a good point. It's the vibes are the exact same though.
Oh, the name of it's Death Doors. That's what they're trademarking.
Death's Door. Okay. Cool.
Which I do like. But of course, the good guys get the win thanks to Andrade with the assist. So now Mark Briscoe earned himself a title shot and lost to MJF this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Moving on to our main event here, we had for the Owen Hart Cup Finals, Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. This was my God, this is why the AEW pay-per-views are the best. This match was a classic. Instant classic. And I'm so mad I missed this live. So mad. But I rewatched it, and I enjoyed every second of it. Had everything I wanted in this match from start to finish.
Why'd you miss it live? Oh, you were at TNA, that's right.
I was at TNA Slammiversary.
That was on Sunday too, yeah.
And Will Ospreay wins the Owen Hart Cup. He was in second last year, ended up losing to Hangman, but this time he gets the job done, and he is officially going to AEW All In and Wembley, going either against Kenny Omega or MJF. And that's how they ended Forbidden Door.
I like it because it adds to the story of what I was mentioning earlier with Will Ospreay, talking about how he's going to be in Wembley, like he's going to be in his hometown against MJF. So
Exactly.
That's really exciting.
But it could be against Kenny Omega because of that name value.
True.
Too. So that's also a huge possibility as well. But with that being said, we have one more review to get into, and then, of course, the main event. We're going to try to get this. We're going to try to be done right now as we're live. It is currently 8:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which, got to plug yet again, if you're an audio listener, come be a part of the live experience. We're live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. And we're also live on X and Facebook as well. But the best way to interact is the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel because you get so much more additional content. So we're going to try to get this done by 9 o'clock. You think we could do
I always
it?
forget we're live on Facebook too. Oh, yeah, we could do it.
All right. Well, let's get into WWE Night of Champions, which I do want to give a huge shout out to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs who hung out with me. It was a very successful stream. We got over 3.5K viewers.
Nice.
During that live watch along, which insane numbers. Insane. And I don't even know the numbers of X. That's just YouTube. But Getting into Night of Champions here, we start off with the opening match, the King of the Ring Finals. Main event, Jey Uso versus Oba Femi.
Oba.
And I'm so happy that they made the decision to give it to Oba and not Jey. I was so happy.
I did too. Kind of like I was alluding to earlier, is like they kind of keep the integrity of the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament, like having the clean matches. So I'm happy that they kept with it, because to be quite honest, they don't need to push Jey Uso anymore. I feel like they need to push Jimmy Uso, but that's a whole nother story.
I think they just need to be teammates again.
They do with Oba Femi. Like this, he's already broken down the doors of what he can do in the WWE. This just adds to it because there's a whole lot of different routes that he can do. And to be quite honest, he can handle pretty much all of them. So I'm interested to see what they're doing. And then, like I said before, the whole reason to win the King and the Queen in the Ring tournament is to get a title shot at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. But at the same time, like, I don't know.
They don't even know what they're doing.
I'm just happy that they kept it clean and Oba Femi won. And it was kind of a decent match. Like I had the stats open earlier.
They'll probably give Oba his title match probably at Survivor Series. I think that's more of a realistic shot. And then maybe whoever wins Money in the Bank cashes in on Oba, and then there's your program going into WrestleMania. Oba wins the Rumble, goes against the heel that cashed in the Money in the Bank on him. But obviously, we're not even at SummerSlam, so that's like looking way too into the future. I'm pulling a Paul Heyman here. But I think that Jey Uso and Oba, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. But me personally, they definitely made the right call here, even if they had to call it audible and switch it. Oba needed to win because whatever Jey did, doesn't matter if you had the whole fucking Roman's family coming out and helping him. Still not believable. Still not believable. Brock giving him 100 suplexes, having all of them super kicking him, and Samoan spiking him, and Samoan dropping him. still not believable, Jay beating him. So I think that this was absolutely 100%, 1000% the right call. And I'm surprised that nobody was there with Jay. Like, I thought that they would maybe have Jimmy appear, or they would have Solo appear, or somebody.
No, I'm not surprised. And like, I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that it was just them two.
But let's keep Jay away from the main event scene. He shouldn't
Yes.
have been in the main event to even begin with this tournament. But moving on to the next match, before the next match could take place, Danhausen made his Saudi debut, and he cursed Liv Morgan. So we kind of knew exactly what was going to happen. So Liv Morgan goes
Saudi,
against
what did he call him? Saudi
Hausens. Yeah, Saudi Hausens.
That's hilarious.
But Io Sky versus Liv Morgan, a little preview to what we're going to get at SummerSlam.
Yep.
And I thought this was an okay match, but because of Danhausen's curse, I was already like not as invested as I wanted to be.
No,
Because I know this match was happening at SummerSlam anyways.
It was inevitable. And as soon as Danhausen cursed Liv Morgan, like, they're not going to get rid of this curse thing. They help the Knicks win and turn like a title.
It's not going
years.
anywhere.
That's not going anywhere. Like, they're not going to just be like, oh yeah, the curse isn't real, like weeks after they win the title. So as soon as they did that, I knew Liv Morgan was losing. I think bringing Io Sky back into the main, like the title sequence too, instead of doing the tag team with Rhea Ripley, they break apart the tag team, give Rhea Ripley the title, and they give hopefully Io Sky the title at SummerSlam. And then this just opens the door to the Judgment Day finally cracking, and Roxanne hopefully gets a singles push. Raquel gets a singles push because both of them deserve it. And Dirty Dom is, yeah.
But you see, the sad thing is with Io winning the Queen of the Ring, I don't see her beating Liv Morgan because I don't see Liv Morgan losing twice to her. WWE doesn't do that.
That's what I'm saying though, because that gives the opportunity for Roxanne or Raquel to turn against Liv Morgan and cost her the title. So
that is valid as well. That is valid.
And let's not forget Liv Morgan.
She has been treating Roxanne like shit.
And somebody brought Roxanne into the Finn. Yeah, Finn Balor brought Roxanne. Liv never wanted her, so maybe they'll bring back their little feud here and there.
That would be
teasing it. So,
but I do agree with Alex Johnson here. The Danhausen part, I also didn't like it either because it did make it predictable, but it was already predictable, anyways. Exactly. But Io winning, that was definitely the right call. And I know a lot of people wanted her and Rhea, but that just doesn't make sense because they're friends. Why is she going to go after Rhea's title when she can go after Liv, who she hates?
Especially when Rhea's injured right now. That's not a really good friendly thing to do. Go after your friend who's injured and then, double champion or just a champion.
Moving on to the next match, we have a steel cage. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. What was your thoughts on the steel cage match?
This match cooked, and it's probably one of my favorite matches in the entire card. My only ick is Braun should have won. I don't think there was no point of Seth winning. He was going to go into the main card scene to begin with. It gives Braun Breaker a push, finally, and whether Seth wins or loses, it ended the feud with him in the Vision because he's no longer a part of it. There's nothing to the Vision anymore. If Braun Breaker wins, that only helps Braun Breaker and the Vision. So, unless they're gonna, break apart the Vision later on, I don't see the point in Seth winning this match because it was 1-1, and this was the third match, I think, between the three.
It was the third match. Yep.
So why not give Braun Breaker the win here? Because he's been itching for a win, especially since he became.
Well, he did beat Seth Rollins once, and Rollins beat him once, but then he beat him here, so he kind of won the rubber match.
My thing is, this kind of gives Seth Rollins momentum to go back into the main title scene, gives him confidence to go up against Roman Reigns, but that didn't need to happen because they had their feud for decades. And with Seth Rollins always having the upper hand over Roman Reigns, he didn't need that win in order to get back into the main title scene. If you give Braun Breaker the win, that only helps him go moving forward. So I don't understand the point of Braun Breaker losing when he gets time and time pushed back, like just to give help to the veterans, because he was going after, I believe, Gunther, who lost, or he lost to, and also some other feud that he lost to. So I don't get it.
I understand why they did this. And the only reason that this would make sense for this to happen is because Braun Breaker is going to realize that he doesn't need the Vision. So the Vision is either going to have new members or they're just going to completely disband. I think Braun Breaker, none of them were there to help him during this. There was no Paul Heyman. There was no Bronson Reed, no Logan Paul, no Austin Theory. So what I got out of this is Seth Rollins winning any other night, I would say Breaker should have won. They buried him, this and that. I would be one of those fans. But I can't, because this does make logical sense for both guys here. And I think it's going to benefit both of them right now, because Seth Rollins winning this match, he does get a lot of momentum going into that SummerSlam main event against Roman Reigns for the championship. Rollins can't go into that match against Roman as a loser. You're talking about a guy who has held that WWE championship for 1,000+ days. Roman Reigns, the top guy right now. You can't go against a losing Seth Rollins, especially if he's losing to Braun Breaker. You got to have that big win, and him winning that rubber match against Breaker, especially looking strong here because Breaker did have color. I think Rollins looks great, and that's what made that Monday Night Raw segment worthy, because Rollins is actually a contender now. He is a legit contender, and it makes sense. But now getting in the Braun Breaker, I can understand why people would be frustrated with him losing, because we need to put a rocket ship. We need to put a strap on him. He needs to win a world championship. He is somebody that is the future of the WWE. I firmly believe that. And a lot of other people do, except for Rage for some reason. But I do think that Breaker losing this match, this is a way to have him slowly turn into a babyface. Because for the next few weeks on Monday Night Raw, when he does come back, you could create that tension with Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Paul Heyman. Create that tension, because Heyman promised him he was going to give him the absolute best. But since joining the Vision, Breaker has not won the World Heavyweight Championship. He's lost big matches. Breaker is really going to start questioning his alliance. And I think when Bronson Reed is ready to come back, you have the perfect feud right there. Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker. And I think you could have them have a series of PLE special matches. Breaker ends up winning the feud. And I think Breaker by then will be ready to get a world championship. Because a lot of people forget that Breaker can work solid as a face. And he already has one of the coolest spears in the game. Like, he doesn't need to be a bad guy. So him losing to Rollins, this is more of a wake-up call than anything. This is not a burial.
So my question was, wouldn't he be able to become a babyface if he won the match?
No. Because he had to learn that his alliance isn't there for him. Because you would think if they had Breaker's back, wouldn't they be out there helping him beat Seth Rollins?
I just feel like him losing the match and realizing the Vision wasn't there. Like, they left him there for dead.
They pretty much they literally threw him into the cage with Rollins, and they just let him freaking loose.
I feel like that would make him more of a heel turn, if anything. Knowing that he doesn't need the Visions. Like, he's going to go on his own, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing. The Vision are already heels, so if he wants to go on his own, that's going to make him a babyface turning on them.
Okay.
Especially if he freaking spears Paul Heyman.
True, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just my old style way of thinking. I just felt like there was more momentum on Braun Breaker's side.
There was, but it seems like Rollins, I think this is the right call long term, and I think Breaker will not be with the Vision by the end of the year. Mark my words.
I don't think the Vision will be a thing by the end of the year.
And now if he is still a part of it by the end of the year, then I really don't know why they made this decision. But I do feel like they are setting up Breaker to leave the Vision, and they're setting something up. But Seth Rollins does get the win here, and the feud is finally over. But let's see what some of the Maniacs said here in the live chat. Angelo, I have no clue what Braun does for SummerSlam, if anything. That's a valid point right there. Didn't think about that. Angelo, Braun should not have won if Seth is facing Roman for the world title. He ain't world title contender if he loses. Pretty much, that's what I pointed out.
You mentioned that.
Eric, nobody kisses more H ass than Seth.
I mean, he's got a point.
He's got his mouth wide open too. Alex Johnson, Netflix blurred out Braun's bloody face in the Night of Champions replay. Of course they did. Bullshit. That was one thing I did like about the match too, was Breaker's color.
Dude, that was so much color.
Even though it was, I think, like accidental. But Alex said Division have a rematch against Street Profits next Monday on Raw. Maybe Breaker won't be there for them. And then it's going to really start to create some tension. But we'll have to wait and see. I think there's a lot of storytelling that can happen. And I think it's going to help. It's going to work out for Breaker in the long run. But moving on to the next match we have for the United States Championship, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. Little Yachty getting kicked out immediately. Didn't really do anything. They flew him out there.
I enjoyed that. Like,
but I like his pairing with Trick Williams.
Yeah, he's not overbearing. He's there to like specifically support, back up Trick Williams. He's not like, growing out of the shadow or whatever. Like he helps Trick Williams be who he wants to be, and I enjoyed the match. I knew Ricky Saints was going to lose. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to lose. But at the same time, like, this was a great way to show maybe the casual fans that weren't really watching NXT when he was there. I know he was there for like maybe only but 7 months.
Yeah, not that long.
So he wasn't there for that long, maybe 6, 7, 8 months. So maybe they didn't really see him in NXT. This was a great way for him to showcase what he can do against Trick Williams, who is the hottest wrestler right now. Like, he's doing ESPN promotions. He is the United States champion. He just got married to Lash Legend. Like, he's having the year of his career, dude. And it's only going to get better. So, like, I knew for a fact that Ricky Saints wasn't going to win this, but it was a great match. It wasn't the longest, but there was a lot of great spots, like Lil Yachty getting ejected. I enjoyed that.
Me too.
It was a great call. Ricky Saints has only way to go up from here, and he's just not championship title holder.
Oh,
yet.
He's championship material. It's just WWE kind of botched the debut, I think.
That's what I was getting to earlier. Like, there has to be a plan, not just throw him in the deep end. Like, I know you say throw him in the deep end and see what he can do. Like, to an extent, I agree with that. But there needs to be some sort of safety net or like some sort of leash when you throw him into the deep end in case he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, no. And that's why,
when they needed to pull him out of that Cody Rhodes segment, like they did. Like, they didn't continue that. But sometimes maybe
he should have came. I really don't get it. He should have just came on to the main roster as a face. We know the history that him and Cody Rhodes have, the friendship.
Yeah.
Have Cody look after him, go under his wing. It's not working out for Ricky Saints. He's losing matches.
Hey,
and then he questions his friendship with Cody Rhodes. And then at the right time, you could have had him cost Cody the championship, or you could have had him turn on Cody. There you go. You have something new for Cody that doesn't involve a championship. And at the same time, you just had somebody turn heel on one of the biggest baby faces. So Ricky would already be established because you're having him with Cody Rhodes in segments and tag matches and stuff.
Yeah.
And Ricky would get massive heat turning on Cody. Because they would have had that time to build the friendship on WWE programming.
They're both on SmackDown, right?
They are, yes.
I mean, this can open the door for just a quick backstage segment of Cody Rhodes walking in the hallway and then running into Ricky Saints, and Ricky Saints making a comment about how he lost the title and how just kind of getting under Cody's skin. Because I think all four of us agree when Cody Rhodes is hunting for the title, that was his best work.
He's a goat.
So in terms of people getting under his skin and maybe putting Cody as a tweener, I know it's not heel fully heel, but like have him as a tweener, people getting inside his head, like making him kind of going crazy. Like, is he championship material, whatever? Like that can open the door for Ricky Saints and getting into the championship, like the main title atmosphere.
I don't know, man. They gotta go back to the drawing board with Ricky Saints, and here's why. The match, I liked it, but here's what kind of deducted some points, like for my rating from the show, which I did actually enjoy Night of Champions. I just want to put that out there.
I did too.
Trick Williams beats Ricky. What was the fucking point in having Ricky get up just to get hit with the Kendall stick by Little Yachty? He already lost the match, and now he's going to get a beatdown afterwards? That made Ricky look horrible, in my opinion. Awful. I hated this.
Are they going for more of a baby face then with Ricky Saints?
No, they're just because Ricky was trying to attack Trick after the match like a heel would, but then it just backfired on him. So it's just one of those things. Stupid.
I have to disagree with Eric's comment. I don't think he's quite Austin Theory level yet. If this continues, then yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Ricky is in danger of becoming Austin Theory. He needs to be in and win a decent feud. I agree.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with Eric on that take.
So I think what they need to do is have
They had no plan when they called him up to the main roster.
They don't. They didn't.
And he's only getting this PLE match because he's Cody's friend. I love Ricky. He's a cool guy, but
yeah,
that's the reason.
They need to have him do a promo saying like I should have won that. I almost had it. Like, Lil Yachty was the fall. Like, he just needs to kind of go Drew McIntyre, blame everybody, and get that heel heat.
You see, all the freaking heels are doing that. Like, it's the same thing.
It works, Donnie. I don't like it either. But at the same time, we need something for Ricky Saints.
We need people to stand out and do new things. They do need to come up with something with Ricky. Maybe pair him up with somebody that's not being used on TV right now. Maybe Grayson Waller. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
But you see, it shouldn't have to be like that, but creative's so bad that, like, the only way that we could actually do something with Ricky is doing something like that.
I'll end it on saying throw him back into the U.S. title area and let's see what he can do.
All right, that's fair, but I don't know. I just really hated the attack afterwards because it was just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because I want Ricky to do so good in the WWE. I want him to succeed.
He was good.
But there's just something missing. Like, if you watched his AEW run and compare it to his WWE run, there's just really something missing. And I think Rage really hit the nail on the head when we talked about it when he was on the show a couple weeks back. With Ricky, it just feels like he's better when you don't give him a script. And in AEW, he was able to creatively come up with his own promo work, which is why half the time, or not even half the time, 90% of the time, it was gold, everything that was coming out of his mouth. But in WWE, it feels like it's filtered.
I think,
and I think Ricky, you gotta you gotta give him a little bit more wiggle room on that leash.
Another reason why they did this match on the PLE is because they had history while they were both in NXT too.
That is true.
So we'll see.
Little full circle moment, but moving on to the next match, we had Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, and I want to start this off, if you're okay with that.
Go ahead. You know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say, but I think a lot of people don't know what I'm going to say unless you were part of the live watch along this past weekend.
Oh, let me get some popcorn. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I got to say this. Jade Cargill, she looked better in this match than Tiffany Stratton. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I'm not going to lie. I always say this since the very first episode of the pod. I call out the good when I see it, but I will call out the bullshit too. And I call out a lot of bullshit when it comes to Jade Cargill because you see, when she got signed to WWE, I thought having the tools, the performance center, having the system behind her, she was going to develop into that main event caliber star that I see, because she has the physical tools. She has the aura. She has the look. She has the presentation. She even has the entrance. She has it. That's why I get so mad when I watch her wrestle in the ring, because everything else is there but the in-ring abilities. But it seems like since WrestleMania, she is starting to improve. And I will say, she took the leadership role in this match against Tiffany Stratton, who is the champion. And I think this whole time with Jade Cargill, she should have been going after the mid-card title before putting her as world champion. And I think this match, Jade Cargill impressed me from start all the way to the finish. Yes, there were still a few things that she had to work on, but she looked like a professional in that match. I said it. And I'm not going to praise her more than how I already did.
I'm crying, dude. Made me so happy.
Is she world champion right now? No. But I like the direction that we're going in with her. Especially because in the match, you did get her baddies involved, trying to help her win the championship. And then Chelsea Green, we've been seeing this alliance with her and Tiffany. And also, Charlotte Flair hits her with the title. So I'm invested in what they're doing here with Charlotte and Jade, because I think that this is going to be a great learning experience for Cargill to work with somebody like Charlotte. And it doesn't have a championship involved, and that's even better.
It's hilarious how the tables have turned, because not only last week I picked Jade to lose this match, and you guys were always giving me shit about glazing Jade Cargill. I always glaze Jade Cargill. Oh, she has muscles, whatever. Like, yeah, I found that attractive. But at the same time, like, I enjoy her wrestling. Like, I think she is a great wrestler too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not as a stickler as what like her mistakes are as you are. But at the same time, like, this match, ironically, I was not more intrigued with Jade Cargill wrestling. I was more intrigued with the outside interference. And normally that's not the case. Normally it's like, oh yeah, this happens. Okay, cool. Tiffany Stratton retains, whatever. What I thought was great was the additions of Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair, because that opens the door for Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill to continue their feud. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a SummerSlam match. Hopefully it is. Just like them one-on-one. And I've been saying this for months. She needs a great feud. Don't get me wrong. She had her run with Tiffany Stratton last year. They did it like 98 times of the year. It was good. Whatever.
Not really. Rhea
Ripley was mid. Like, I did enjoy the match itself. The feud part of it, like the promo, the chemistry wasn't quite there.
Meh.
With Charlotte Flair, I think she can work with a lot of different wrestlers, whether it is
she's versatile,
or Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair. Versatile is a great term. I'm excited for this feud because I pointed out Charlotte Flair as a great feud for Jade Cargill to not only improve, but to get her name out there in the very beginning. Her name is out there, and I understand that you are one of probably a good portion of the IWC that gives Jade Cargill less credit than she deserves, and that's not like a smack at you. I'm not saying like you're wrong or anything. I'm saying like there is truth to that. Like there is more potential that she's giving out there, or being given for that matter. With this, it opens the door for Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill to have their feud, and the United States title feud, because she was probably the greatest women's U.S. champion that WWE has had. They did jack shit with Julia twice. Tiffany Stratton's on her third title reign when they haven't done anything with her since.
Hey, this is going to pick up some momentum, though, with her getting a big win over Jade.
Yeah,
Maybe we can capitalize on this.
Her feud with Jade Cargill continues, but yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it opens the door for a lot more women talent to get involved.
I agree with you on that. And you see, like, if I didn't give a fuck about Jade Cargill, if I truly didn't give a fuck,
you would say it, yeah.
why do I get so passionate when I talk about her? Because I do see the potential there. She has all the tools to be a main event star. If she was like an Eva Marie, I would just give her no time, no energy at all.
Yeah.
But she's not, though. And that's why, like, I'm glad that, like, she is putting in the work in the ring because it's showing. It's actually showing since working with Rhea Ripley. I was impressed with this match, and I thought Jade did a great job here. Massive improvement.
Her floor is like Alexa Bliss level, and her ceiling is basically Charlotte Flair level. Like, that's how versatile and
Versatile.
varied, versatile, not vitality, like volatile.
Variety.
I can't say it today. Hard to word today, but that's what I'm saying. Like, her floor and ceiling are just so far apart.
They are, but let's go and see what some of the maniacs here are saying about this. Well, we have Matt here in the live chat. How's it going, Matt? You
What's up,
guys
Matt?
are awesome. Nah,
Thank
man,
you.
you're awesome for watching and listening.
Mhm.
Eric, match was still clunky, botchy, and generally terrible. We must have been watching a different match. You must have been watching her match against
You
Tiffany
did point
last
out
year.
like her push into Tiffany into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that was kind of
was-
weak.
that was, like,
There's
a
some
weak-
there's some little things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, her moves were impactful. It was a huge improvement. And if you don't see the improvement from Jade last year to this year, then I think that you're not open-minded, and I think you're being a little biased because you want to hate Jade.
Yeah, don't give her the Nickelback treatment. Come on.
Put Jade and Nia and see who comes out alive. The match was okay. The match was okay. It wasn't anything that was over the top.
Let's calm down, guys. Let's calm down.
Jade did look good in this match, and I'm talking about the performance, not the overall match itself, because there's a lot of things I would have tweaked, a lot of things I would have changed. But Tiffany getting this win, hopefully we get some momentum moving forward. But
It was the great match because it gave momentum for both of them.
But let's get into our main event match here, the triple threat match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Sami Zayn versus Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. What a match!
Match of the night.
Loved it. Loved it. This brought my rating up for this PLE a lot.
It
This was so
definitely
It had
carried the night
False
because
finishes,
yep,
the teases.
they had me going. I thought for sure Cody Rhodes was going to retain it. Like they had me to the very last second when they did the double.
Me too.
What's it called? Crossroads.
Yep, the double crossroads. Yep.
Double crossroads, and they made the correct decision to throw the title on the Sami Zayn. Because, like we said earlier, Cody Rhodes is much better at the hunt than the protector, I guess, or the consumer. And with Gunther, that was probably my dark horse. I mean, there's only 3 wrestlers in this match. With them throwing the title on Gunther, they needed to do something with him because now, ever since him tapping out the J, it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're so up and down with Gunther, having him end 3 different wrestlers' careers, and then having him not even in the tournament, if I'm mistaken. Like, he wasn't even in the King of the Ring tournament, was he?
No, he wasn't, because I
So-
think he was going against Cody Rhodes for the championship.
Okay, that makes sense. But still, like, what are they going to do with Gunther now? Like, they just, I don't know.
You see with Gunther, I wish that they were doing more. I wish that they were doing better with him, because I think after ending 3 careers, Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles, these are some big freaking names.
Yes.
Goldberg, face of WCW, John Cena, the face of the modern WWE, AJ Styles, the face of TNA. These guys are some first-class Hall of Famers. And I believe that when you end a careers like that, you should have given Gunther that JBL 2004-2005 push. He should have won the WWE Championship, or it could have been the World Heavyweight title. And I would have had him hold that title all the way until WrestleMania, and then give it to a guy like Obafemi, winning his first championship. Have him go to the Rumble, win it, go on to WrestleMania, beat Gunter for the championship and that horrible run, just like they did back in 2005 with WrestleMania 21. Triple H and JBL were the villains of the Ruthless Aggression era. They held those titles for close to a year. John Cena and Batista came to the rescue. And that's how they were able to create 2 stars in one freaking night. And that's why I firmly believe with Gunter, he was doing the career killer gimmick. He should have been killing some more careers, or he should have gotten the championship and went on a JBL heel run. But they didn't capitalize on it, and now it's looking like it's going to be probably him versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam or Saturday
Nick
Night.
Aldis. I think Nick Aldis and then him are.
It looks like they're going to have him wrestle
Saturday Night's main event. I still believe they're going to go with the gimmick or the idea of him retiring Brock, because part of me thinks that this Obafemi match is not going to be Brock's last match.
I feel
like they're going to throw it in with Brock Lesnar. Maybe have Gunther interrupt or interfere with the match. I don't know. I think that's just the only route that they could do with him at this point.
Like, I do think like they are going to do something with Aldis and Gunter, because at the post show, Gunter like went off on him.
Oh yeah,
and it was a cool little.
Aldis got suspended.
Thing.
Aldis is not going to be there for quite a bit, and
see that's great.
They've just done Gunther dirty, even with this undisputed championship feud with Cody Rhodes, because they've made him look like a fool.
Not necessarily. I do disagree with that, because I am looking at the psychology here. The match that Gunter and Cody Rhodes had, I believe it was Clash in Italy, right? With the controversial call with Gunter's like foot or hand being on the rope. That was good psychology. And I think that they technically didn't bury him in that moment. That is not on a Jey Uso tapping out like comparison.
Well, you brought that up. Like,
and Gunter didn't get pinned in this match.
He lost at Clash. He lost to Cody Rhodes twice in one night. And then on SmackDown, and then had him lost to Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn at night.
Well, that was Sami Zayn as the referee that kind of screwed him over with the fast count. So technically,
regardless,
Gunter didn't lose clean though. So that at least tells you that WWE still believes in him, but they just really need to figure it out fast, because the more time goes by, the more, because of our attention spans, because of smartphones and the way this generation is, we're going to forget about the Goldberg Saturday Night main event taking place last year in July, a year ago. We're going to forget John. Well, I don't think we're ever going to forget that, but same with AJ. Like, I just totally
too soon, bro.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, years from now, like, people are like just going to remember them retiring, but not who did it. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
It does. Like, at this point, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, after this kind of quick little segment with Nick Aldis, I just feel like either Brock Lesnar or they do something with Chad Gable and Gunther. Like, I'm just afraid what they're gonna do next with Gunther. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I believe in Gunther still. Don't get me wrong. Don't read what I'm not saying. I am concerned because I've seen WWE pull the rug out of wrestlers very quick.
Yeah,
like
because
what I mentioned earlier with Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, it's like they kind of just get sick of the old toy and then they want to play with the new one. I get that. That's a good way of looking at it. But I do think that I think it's time we get into our main event topic and talk about this individual. So here we go with our main event. It's time for the We Are Wrestling Podcast main event. And I say we get into it. We talk about it because I never thought this was going to happen. We Are Wrestling literally posted a clip of, I believe one of our episodes of the pod, where I kind of gave that game board analogy about Sami never becoming world champion. And as soon as we uploaded that clip, literally not even a week later, Sami wins the belt. And that's right, guys. We have a new WWE Undisputed Champion, and that is Sami freaking Zayn. And there's a lot of people that are talking about this. There's people that are very happy for him because they've been following his career going all the way back to El Generico, while there's others that are criticizing this win, saying that this is not best for business, that Sami is not world champion material. So I want to know your thoughts on Sami Zayn winning the championship. Do you like this decision?
I love the fact that he has the title. I am, and this is probably a broken record or trending for this whole podcast, I am just concerned of how they're going to treat his title reign. And like, I don't expect him to have the title reign as long as Roman Reigns did. Like, I don't expect to even have it for maybe even 6 months. To be fair, I just want him to have like just an entertaining title reign that doesn't make us believe that they had no plan for Sami Zayn. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I do feel like Sami, and I hate to say this, but this is why I love him as champion as well, because it does make things unpredictable, just like Drew McIntyre earlier this year. It made things so unpredictable and so entertaining, because I think Cody is so good at chasing the championship. But I do think that Sami's probably going to hold the title until SummerSlam. And I do think that Cody probably gets it back, and then we do get the Cody and CM Punk program.
Yep.
I do have a feeling that's going to probably happen. But I overall am so happy for Sami Zayn winning the championship, because I never thought that this was going to happen. And I think this was the perfect time to do it, because he's had, even on commentary, they said 10 opportunities at becoming WWE champion or world champion, and he could never get the job done, but he finally did it after 10 tries. And I feel like that is such the Sami Zayn story, because if you go back to his NXT debut as Sami Zayn, he was always that underdog chasing the championship, always the guy that like really like so much comparisons to Daniel Bryan Danielson in the WWE.
It's very poetic.
And he finally did it.
How can you not love wrestling when it's very poetic in the way of Sami Zayn finally finishes his story by pinning the other guy who finishes his story for the same title in Cody Rhodes. It's basically that. I mean, Cody Rhodes, like Cody Rhodes, but anyways, and he was Cody's friend. Like, Cody Rhodes was Sami Zayn's friend, and he pins him to finish his story 2 years after Cody Rhodes. I almost did it again. Cody Rhodes finishes his story for the same title. So it's very poetic in the way how they ended it. And as soon as you like when you mentioned that, like, I remember as soon as like they had the like little blurb when the wrestlers come out, as soon as they mentioned that in Sami Zayn's little thing, I'm like, yep, he's winning. They still had me throughout the match, like,
they had me, dude, with the false finishes.
As soon as I saw that little blurb, that little factoid, it was over, because I knew, like, why would they even mention that part? They didn't have to.
And so the roll up was perfect. The roll up was perfect surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't your typical hit the finisher 1, 2, 3. I loved everything about this match. Whoever produced this match deserves a raise by TKO and WWE, because they did a great job at telling a story here. And I do think that all three guys came out better. Well, Gunter, that's a little debatable, but him working with all this is going to be interesting. Cody chasing the title again, maybe doing something different. That's going to be interesting, because we have just been so fatigued of him. And Sami Zayn doing this last real good guy gimmick does have a lot of potential here. And whatever direction they go in, whether he's going to be a transitional champion or not, it's going to set Sami Zayn up for more success. But at least he got his moment. And I firmly believe, like, if you're somebody that does bust your ass and you are putting in that hard work, Sami was somebody who, whatever was given to him, went out there and made the best of it. He has been truly somebody that has been given a lot of shit in his career, but he's gone out there and he has made the best of it. And I think all these years later, finally getting, because there was a lot of times where we could have said, you know what? Sami Zayn should have gotten the championship. Elimination Chamber in Toronto against Roman Reigns during that 1,000-day title run. That was an opportunity. The Royal Rumble against Drew McIntyre. That was another opportunity.
Yeah.
So now that he finally did it, finished his story, it makes things so much more interesting on SmackDown, which has been one of the worst shows every week. And Sammy finally gets the recognition that he deserves, and he's the last Dusty Rhodes guy to win a championship as well.
So little thing about me is I'm very empathetic. So if I see people that I love that like succeed, I get emotional about it. Like that's why I watch like all the NBA and NFL drafts. Like I see these people working their asses off and they get recognized and get what they deserve. Like I feel that. Like and the moms cry, like, oh dude.
And I can't stand when people say like,
when the moms cry, like, oh, I'm over. That's
dude,
over.
Me too, man.
So when I saw
I don't get why people wait real quick though, like getting into like the sport. I just want to add something to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like I really don't get why a lot of people be like hating on like these athletes, like when they're crying, they're like, oh, what a little bitch, da da da.
What a little bitch,
yeah. But it's like, dude, like his hard work paid off, and like they don't know the amount of hours that goes into training. They don't know the amount of hours that go into it.
Just fuck off, keyboard warrior.
Agreed.
But what I was getting at was I see like Sami Zayn winning it in live time. Like I don't get emotional. Like, yeah, when Sami Zayn kind of broke down, I kind of felt something. What really made me cry and like really being happy for Sami Zayn was Kevin Owens posting that Instagram.
Amazing.
Of all the pictures of him and Sami Zayn throughout the years. That really got me because that is fully recognizing what Sami Zayn has gone through. And then also, like, I posted it in the group chat with Karrion Kross's reaction. That made me more laugh than like getting more like sad about it. Like that was like, he was like, finally, you know, like that was like, I knew it, you know, like that was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is happening. So
man, like now, like I hope when Kevin Owens comes back, like he gets this opportunity again, because it's criminal that the last time he's held a world champion in WWE was that Universal Championship when it was vacant after Finn Balor's injury. And that was a short run because they had Oberg squash him. So I kind of want like Kevin Owens to get a moment here. You know what? I'm going to say, fuck it. Sami Zayn, let's let the man be champion for a little while here. And maybe Kevin Owens will be back by Royal Rumble. And then maybe we can get WrestleMania, Sami versus Kevin. That'd be fucking awesome for the championship. Are you kidding me? As an old school Ring of Honor fan, I am all for that. Even though we already know WWE and Triple H are going to say, no.
They're going to fuck it up. They're
not going to let that happen.
They're just gonna fuck it. I don't trust them at all at this point.
Yeah,
like I've seen things that
would
done
feed families.
Just this year they've done
Kevin
stuff.
And Sammy, oh, that would feed families. Oh my god.
Yeah,
especially now. Oh man,
I just think this moment was great for him. He definitely earned and deserved it. And now he's on top of the world. You know, there's only
he's bringing a championship literally everywhere he goes.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm surprised he hasn't really recreated the image of Drew McIntyre sleeping with the title. I'm surprised he hasn't done anything like that yet. But my thing is, what can make his title run exciting, if creative wise, first a little bit. Bring him back into, not bring him back into it, but bring him related to the bloodline. Have him stare at Roman Reigns' face and say, I never needed you. I finally got my title. I never needed you. And that can
I would like that.
Have Sami Zayn. I'm just spitballing, but like,
I like the idea of him.
It's a Survivor Series capability of like Sami Zayn having a team and Roman Reigns having a team.
They don't even have to do that. I just want like one interaction with them because Roman's never believed Sami could do it. So it'd be kind of cool to see like Sami with the title and like rub it in a little bit and like show it off, and then like maybe Roman just like shaking his hand or just I don't know, something little, something stupid.
Like the last good guy thing can work out. That bit can work out because if Roman Reigns responds, but like I had it in my head. Damn it, I had it.
Well, we
Roman
are
Reigns
running out of
responds a
time.
certain way.
Final thoughts.
Yes, thank you. I'll probably think of it later and text you. My final thoughts of Sami Zayn winning the title.
Yep.
I am all aboard. I just hope they don't fumble it, and let's see. We go from there. I think SmackDown was spoiled already. I forgot what they did.
Yeah, they were
I
in,
just have
London.
a feeling Jey Uso's involved. Like, I just have a feeling.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into any of that.
Me neither.
But my final thoughts are Sami Zayn absolutely deserves that. I don't care what anybody says. This is the right call because Cody Rhodes has just been very boring. Like, it's just been a very
Yeah.
boring run as champion. And I feel like there's like wrestlers that just need a break from the world title scene and it benefits them.
Mhm.
Best example, Charlotte Flair, somebody who's always going for the championship time after time after time. People got sick of it. People started to turn on her. Ever since she started teaming with Alexa, people fucking love Charlotte and she's become a fan favorite on SmackDown. So let's get Cody away from the title. We get it. He finished his story at WrestleMania 40. Whoopee. Who cares? He already did it. Let's move on. Let's move forward. Give me some rivalries because we have good heels that are not in the title picture that Cody can work with. Like, give me Bronson Reed and Cody. Give me Braun Breaker and Cody Rhodes. Give me, there's so many scenarios. Like, him and Logan Paul could do something. Like, there's a lot of different things that they could do with Cody Rhodes that doesn't need to involve a championship belt. So I think Sami Zayn, I really hope that they go with this until the wheels fall off. And I'm really happy for him.
I think so too. I'm trying to think of what he does first.
It's going to be probably him and Cody.
Him and Cody have a moment. I do believe that like they can just take it from there, but I need to have an interaction with the bloodline. Because like what they're doing right now is they're shoving the bloodline 2.0 down our throats. Jacob Fatu is eventually going to like disobey Roman Reigns. He's already fighting with the Usos. So I think it's only in due time that Sami Zayn is brought back in for at least an interaction. If not, maybe a length of time. But I feel like that's what they need to do.
Yeah, but
because he has a title.
Well, let's read some of the live chat here before we do close off because we do have about 2 more minutes here. So we got Matthew here in the live chat. Wonder what WWE is going to be doing booking that SummerSlam 2026 by Triple H, and I have no idea what Triple H is going to be booking for. Josh was definitely shocked they had Sami win. But part of me feels like they want to piss off they didn't want to piss off the Saudi crowd because Sami is Muslim. I don't think so. I think they really wanted to give him the moment because they realized that Cody's
there was an original plan that he was.
They got to make SmackDown interesting.
He was going to win the title at WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia.
Angelo, I'm here for Gunter versus Aldis at SummerSlam. I think it'd be a great match. A lot of people don't know that Nick Aldis is a really good wrestler. So I think this is the best way to transition him from wearing the tie to putting on the boots one last time. So I think Gunter and Aldis would be cool. Eric, ruin Gunter's career so kids could just yeet. That's on H.
Very boiled down, but yeah.
Let's go, Sami. What does Punk do for SummerSlam Raws in Chicago? Really can't tell you because as of right now, it seems like everybody has a story going on. Maybe CM Punk and Danhausen do a tag team match against JD and Dom. That could be something stupid WWE does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any good ideas, so don't ask me. Eric, it's different. So it's good fun. What isn't fun is dropping it back to Cody. Doesn't get more stale or predictable than that. Cody's finishing his story was the start of everything going to shit. Agree because there's really, I somewhat agree because there wasn't another bigger storyline that they had planned or set. Because what is the big headliner, the big storyline that people are getting invested in right now? There's really nothing in the WWE.
Well,
unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a point. I just there have been great moments,
but there are great moments, but like the big storyline, we haven't gotten that yet. Like Roman had that big run. Cody finished his story. That was a big thing. There hasn't been anything bigger since. So
That
I
was
kind
as
of
big
understand where
as
he's coming
Brock
from.
Lesnar breaking Undertaker's record.
Yeah.
It was that big.
Sami Zayn just won the title, and that's what's a shocking moment in pro wrestling history of all time in the world of booking for this moment. And it's one of those guys that was told he was never going to be a world champion. He was never going to make it in the business. And him winning it, it's just a feel-good moment because I'm sorry, at the end of the day, I know you have to cater to the casuals. You have to cater to those fans that you want to get back into the product because the numbers have gone down. And Vince Russo makes a lot of good points on his podcast about that. But at the same time, those hardcore professional wrestling diehard fans, you also have to cater to in a sense because Sami Zayn winning the championship, that was for us, the people who spend hours watching the product, whether it's the best or it's the drizzling shits. We watch it and we support it. And every week we come on a podcast and talk about it. And we make content based off professional wrestling. Hell, I buy freaking plastic figures because I'm a diehard fan. And sometimes you have to cater to us because we're the ones that are really invested. We're watching the shows every single week. So I think this here was the right call for Sami to win the championship. And like I could understand like them saying like, you know, it's not going to bring back 9 million viewers. But you see the times have changed. A lot of people don't watch the stuff on TV anymore. They just watch clips that are on TikTok, social media, or YouTube. That's just how it is.
This does open the door of Jey Uso like bringing back his relationship with Sami Zayn, and maybe that brings him in a title shot, which I don't want personally, but I just feel like that's what WWE is going to do.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell you guys too, since Rage isn't here, he was not happy about Sami winning the championship. I can confirm that. But
I mean, he's good.
Well, is there anything else before we close off this week's episode?
Well, my final thought was I just hope that they get rid of this underdog kind of gimmick with Sami Zayn. Like being the last good guy is kind of working. So let's
transition to that. I agree.
To that. But besides that, no, I don't have anything else to say. It's been a good long podcast. We covered a lot. I appreciate
3 hours. I think we did a good job
sticking around
all of this. And we do appreciate the people that did stick around or even listen to this on the audio fully. We appreciate you guys so much. Without you, there is no We Are Wrestling. And we're going to continue to give you guys the best pro wrestling content possible. There is a lot of things that are being in the works that we can't really talk about right at the moment, but things are happening. And when we can make those announcements, you guys will be the first ones to hear it. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the pod. I don't think we're ever going to be doing a 4 PLE review ever again. I think that this is a one-time thing.
Please no.
One of those PLEs might be an extra next time.
Stop being petty, people. Fuck.
But if you enjoyed this week's episode, please smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to this wherever you get your podcast, leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, over on the YouTube channel where you get the best premium pro wrestling content, live watch alongs for all the WWE, AEW pay-per-view / PLEs. You get reactions, you get vlogs. You get so much additional content here on the channel, and we're also going to be trying some new stuff as well here. Recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on those post notifications. It's really the best way to be a part of this community, the We Are Wrestling universe. I think we have one of the most non-toxic wrestling communities in the space, so if you want to be a part of it, come over to We Are Wrestling and hit that subscribe button now and turn those post notifications on. Soon you will be able to be a part of it with the Discord. We're still working on it. Dan Eddy's been working tirelessly on it. So we'll be getting that up and running hopefully sometime this month. Links down in the description box below. You can go follow myself and Dan Eddy over on our social medias. I'd be posting a lot of basketball stuff with the NBA offseason. So if you want to go check out DBTV, you can do that. You also can go check out my toy page here as well. Best One Donnie, where I'm posting toy hunts, toy reviews, just unboxing, ripping figures. Also just got this custom Val Venus. Hello, ladies. So if you want to go check that out, The link is down in the description box below. Dan Eddy's Twitch is down there as well. You still got to send me that Twitter, pal.
It's right here.
Oh, okay. There it is.
I just
well, you gotta
changed
send
it
me.
a couple
You gotta
minutes
send me the actual link so I
I
can
will,
get it
yeah.
in there. But of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over.
Wow.
Peace. Everywhere I Go is the official theme song for the We Are Wrestling podcast. If you guys want to go support them, their links are going to be down in the description box as well.
I know I can't get